Welcome to Live with Elder Kabeer, where we are reminded to be faithful in the little. I am the voice behind the scenes, Dick and David. Today we have an encouraging show for you. Please watch till the end, and we hope that you are blessed by this live stream.
Shalom, shalom, saints. Glad to be back with you guys again for another live stream with Elder Kabeer. That's me. So I just want to give all praise to the Most High Yah. Thankful for our shepherd, Pastor Dow, and Straightway Truth Ministry. And we come to you guys with a good show. A good show. I don't know how it's going to turn out because this one was a difficult one to bring up. Been debating, going back and forth if I should be, because, this is a sensitive topic. This is truly a sensitive topic here, and want to be sensitive to that. But we want to know what the word's saying. So I don't want to be in any way deterred from speaking on topic on the things of this world, the things that we have to deal with in this lifetime. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to be talking about domestic abuse, but we want to talk about it according to the Bible. And so we are going to be talking about abuse. So that's what we can talk about. We've been off for almost 3 weeks, I
I
think.
was going to say, Elder, where the heck have you been?
Man, guys, a lot has been happening, and we're still going to keep that under wraps until further notice. But yeah, there's a lot that's been going on. Our community is growing. I can tell you that we had a new addition to seven added to the assembly here on Wisconsin, on the lands of Wisconsin here at Straightway Praise Land. So that was a transition. There's some other things happening. There's a lot happening. There's just a lot happening.
I should have queued up the Shaka Zulu theme song.
Yeah, we are growing. Yeah, we are growing, and with that come challenges, but nothing bad. I mean, it's part of growth. It's part of growth. You don't get with growth, there's going to come challenges, but nothing bad is good challenges. So we're doing this. We are living this book out. So I just want to give all praise to the Most High Yah for my deacon, my brother David, for putting a lot of stuff. We put a lot of content out still, so we were able to put a lot of contents out from previous shows, shorts and things of that nature. So
Hey, shout out to Brother Jordan and Elijah too, because they've been a huge help with the show.
Oh yeah, with our shorts and everything. Yeah, brother Jordan, brother Elijah.
Yep.
They've been helping me out here with my channel here. So we have a lot of support. So it's not me. I mean, pretty much just all I do. I do this maybe once a week, but
don't be telling our secrets now.
but my guys, the brothers here, they do a lot for the community. They do a lot. They work with their hands. They do a lot of things here. They help me with this. I mean, we working together, right? We work together to try to
accomplish the mission.
And we are so thankful for Pastor Dow and his example and what he's done. He worked with way less than what we're working with. So we're striving to do as good or even better. And I think Pastor Dow will want that. So anyway.
Elder, I got a question for you.
Yeah, yes.
Obviously, we know this is a sensitive topic, especially because of how we've been conditioned. But I want to ask you, what inspired you to do this topic? What led you to this line of thinking and to where we're at now?
Well, you guys know, I mean, I've been doing this live stream for a while. How long have we been doing? Almost a year. I don't even know.
YouTube in general is
just in general, but just when we start this, Elder.
Dude, I mean, if you wanna go back all the way to the KGB live show, I mean, we've been doing this for
we have over 9,000 subscribers, and we do get letters. We get letters. We get communication through our YouTube. Yep. And I believe I got this via email. This person watches my channel, so I'm not gonna read this because
no, but you can kind of just at least.
I don't think it's appropriate, but this is the email. I mean, it's a 2-page, very long, and it's a sensitive topic here from this person's perspective. This is from a woman who is actually a Hebrew. She says she's a Hebrew Israelite, and she's actually in a polygynous relationship, and
Mm.
she's the I think the second or third wife of this home. She's making claims in here that she is dealing with abuse, and she had a question. Matt, I'm just going to just read this one aspect of the letter. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but just to, because you asked a question. Um, in the as she kind of gives the details, she gives a long drawn out of the abuse that she's dealing with her husband. And I'm gonna just tell you guys, just from reading this stuff, it's coming off from one sided, you know, and
Yeah.
it sounds like this is just her side, but you don't really hear the husband's side. You don't hear everybody else that's telling her that she needs to either submit or quit. I mean, I'm paraphrasing,
Yeah.
but this is what inspired me because I know how we've been trained. And also, too, I'm thinking about us as men who are keeping this way, who are practicing polygyny or just being a man, being a husband, being a father. And I feel like because of how we've been reared up in this society called the United States of America, is made men so gun shy to being a man and walking in the authority that Yah has given us as just being men. You know,
Mhm.
it's kind of like if I went into a football game, the worst thing that I can do going into a game is have doubt about my play. If I'm doubting, well, if I do this and if I do this, well, what if I jump off sides? Or if I do this and well, I don't want to do this and I don't want the coach chewing me out. And I mean, I will be pretty paralyzed by paralysis because of all the possibility of the things I could do wrong and this and that and seeing this person get you and now you can't even function. And so, guys, as men, we are going to make mistakes. There are going to be mistakes. There are going to be times that we do things that's out of anger and is going to make us do things that we shouldn't be doing. I get it. But we can't all of a sudden water down the word of Yah just to satisfy this wicked ass generation, especially the feminist movement and this culture that we in. And so that's why I want to talk about this, because as I looked at this stuff, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I don't think that what we've been taught about abuse is true. That's what made me look at from this letter I'm listening to. And my natural instinct was, I'll give you an example before I read this letter. You have to understand, I was in Christianity for 16 years. I was able to move up to be a deacon when I was in Christianity. I was a part of a program, a deliverance program, actually, where we help people address domestic violence, arrested development, rejection. I dealt with so many men that was dealing with molestation, incest. I mean, all types of things that you can imagine that will cause somebody to be arrested in development. And a lot of time as a Christian, we always assume that the women were the victims and that the men were the wrong party. Automatically, you walk in, somebody's right and somebody's wrong. Even in Christianity, they never come. If anybody tells you when they do counseling that both parties are equal, that's a lie. There is somebody that sets the tone. And in Christianity, women set the tone, meaning it's based on how that woman feels. If she feels scared, if she feels abused, if she feels controlled, then that's what everything is going to be based on. It's not going to be based off of the Bible. It's not going to be based off of common sense. It's going to be based on how that woman is feeling. But then when you look at the word, there's a standard. So let me read this letter. And then after I read this letter, because I just want to answer Deacon's question. So this is part of the letter that gets in where she's asking me after she tells me this long drawn out abuse, and that's from her perspective. Then she comes in and tells me what she thinks. She says, and I'm going to go right into the middle of the letter. So I hope I brought it in somewhat context. We've tried to do marriage counseling. Okay, I'm listening. But anytime someone confronts her husband, for how he treats me and makes an idol of his first wife, he gets mad at me and says, I'm trying to make men bully him to submit to him, to me, I'm talking to her, to submit to me when I'm supposed to submit to him. He said that I'm selfish and self-entitled for asking for a wedding, rings, pictures, and covenant. And for him to provide for me, even though Torah says as a man must provide for his wife and family, or he is worse than an infidel. So this is the part that blew me up. This is a Torah keeping woman writing this thing out. He is into positive thinking. So if I say anything about our marriage or about his wife stalking me, or I don't need to get, this is part of the details here, doing things to me, I'm being negative. I feel like I'm a slave. These are key words. I feel like I'm a slave. Feel like I'm a slave, and that I have no rights. I do not have any money to leave, or do not have any place to go. Okay, I'm gonna skip some stuff here. He says everyone in polygyny, and I think these are the people that she's gone to. She's even gone to the Muslims. She's even asked Muslim marriage counseling about polygyny. Everyone in polygyny blames me and says I shouldn't have married him, and that I need to leave, or that I need to submit to him being mean to me, neglecting me. Only a few men have confronted him because he is the head of home. They do not want to tell him what to do. He used his headship to bully me and to neglect me and to refuse to treat me per Torah. Okay. She's making a claim that he's using his headship to bully her and that he's not treating her according to Torah. Let me see if there's any. She just says, I'm extremely sick, I'm depressed, and I can't take it anymore. And she goes on and says that. And then it goes here. It says, everyone is biased to him because he is the head and they think it's my fault. And I don't know if you would be able to do a video on what women can do in the situation like this. I have a counselor. I see when I have funds. I see her. I guess it's missing some words. I see her when I have funds. She is poly friendly, and poly friendly must mean she's polygyny friendly. Anyway, but she's poly friendly. For the last year, she is the only person who believes me and sees that how he treats me is abuse. People refuse to see that men can abuse their wife because most people think since man is the head, he's always right. So it must be the woman's fault. No one seems to. Okay. And I'm just thank you for listening. Very serious. Okay. And I just read a part of it, and she really didn't want me to read, because to put her in danger. So if it's true that she's in danger, then no one would know who wrote this and whatever, because there's some details in there that would pinpoint this person. And I'm talking about time, dates, and things of that nature. But this is what inspired me, Deacon. So I hope I answered your question. But this letter inspired me. It got me to start thinking about how I see abuse, how it's taught in Christianity, what I've seen being part of Straightway Truth Ministry. And there is a difference. And I'm hoping to open this up for discussion. I'll put this out there and show you guys what I learned about abuse, and then what I learned with the Bible. And I'm going to let the book, we're going to make it's going to be concrete, guys. I just like to keep things concrete. I used to get disciplined or reprimanded for being too black and white or being too concrete, but it was really, you're being too black and white. I mean, you're taking the Bible literally. Well, it says it right here. How am I supposed to take it? I guess they wanted me to take it more abstract, as a concept, not necessarily as like literally doing that. I mean, Jesus doesn't really mean to give all, or he doesn't really mean to wife submit to your husband. It's just a concept. So anyway, Deacon, to answer your question, did that?
Yeah.
So,
I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I'll let you know that I do have the stuff about the women's rights movement. So if you want to
anytime, hey, bro. This is an interesting topic we're talking about. So
I'll pull it up real quick.
If you have something that makes sense, but okay, yeah, bring this up. So because we're gonna show, I want to show you guys a video to kind of set the tone of this show and really show you how the world sees abuse. I mean, this is very important because this is a lot of us grew up in this stuff. We are in the society that literally have taught us that men are the abuser in a lot of relationships. I'll let you read that. 1973. Read.
Yeah, it says major changes to the laws came with the women's movement in the 70s. As a result, legislative bodies began to modernize their definitions, with the term domestic violence first being used in 1973.
And I just to let you guys know, I was born in 1977, so this came out
Right.
before me, huh?
Yeah. I mean, so by the time you were born and growing up, this was just being pushed.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and this got passed in 1973. But I mean, it did say get passed. What does it say?
Yeah,
Hey,
well, it says they modernized
okay,
definitions.
minor definition, but
It
the
kind of
word,
reminds me of remember, like when there was a fault divorce versus no fault divorce,
yeah,
and so now there was you had to have good reason, you know,
good
and
reason.
now you don't have to have any
You
reason.
don't have to. It's just on feeling. So, guys, what does Yah says about abuse? What should a woman do if they, now, first of all, let me put a disclaimer here. I do not advocate. I just want to make sure people know this. I do not advocate for men abusing their women emotionally, physically, spiritually. I'm not for going beyond what the word says that we can do with our women or with our family. I'm not for that. Never have been for that, and still, and no one in our ministry, starting with Pastor Dow, is not for abuse. But we need to figure out what is abuse, because everybody keep dropping the A word, the abuse. I mean, guys, yours truly was literally accused of abusing his wife of 16 years, abusing my children. And I mean, Deacon, you've been living with me now. Would you, I mean, now, seeing how I live my life, and I'm harder, not even probably, I am harder on my woman now. I'm harder on her in the sense from Christianity standpoint point of view. And now I have total control on how I run my beef. I don't have any type of thing hindering me on living out my life according to the Torah. I have nothing holding me back. Nothing. I don't have a pastor. I don't have nothing keeping me back. I'm going full throttle on what I believe this book is saying. And Deacon, you have lived and witnessed how I live my life. Would you say was me having full control, me going full throttle and being the husband, being the father, being the brother? Have you seen any abuse in how I operate?
Not at all.
And this is with no chains, no bondage, no handcuffs or anything. When I was in Christianity, I was in bondage. Christianity puts you in bondage and shackles. They get you locked up with marriage license, birth certificate, all these things to shackle the man up so that he cannot literally do what Yah's called him to do as a husband, as a father. And at Straightway Truth Ministry, there's liberation, there's freedom in Straightway Truth Ministry under Pastor Dow. I've experienced freedom. They said he says, when the wicked ruled, the people what? Mourn. But when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. And I am rejoicing to be a part of Straightway. I have never experienced this much freedom as a man, as a brother, as a husband, as a father, to do what I think is best according to the Torah. Now, if I was abusive, my woman, she could anytime ask, can I see leadership or see a pastor? Because I think I'm being treated unfairly. I think twice my woman did it early in our marriage, in the beginning. Been together like 4 years. In the beginning, guess what? If you ask her, I don't think make this up. I don't even try to muzzle her. I don't try to, what's the word they do to the
gag order?
I didn't give her a gag order. Guess what we did? Literally, I'm quick. Speed dial. Boom. Who do you? I even asked, who do you want to talk to? Because I want to see this. Because guess what? In Christianity, you don't even get to sit down and talk to a counselor. You know what they do? The first thing they do is they talk to the wife and they separate you. This is what they teach you: separate them. And then when you're talking to the man, always tell the man, "Hey, I can't really deal with her. I just want to know. We're just dealing with you right now." But all my intel came from the woman. And then when I deal with the man, I don't care what the man has to say. We need to get this man to change, and we're going to isolate him, and we're going to tell him, well, don't talk about her. We need to focus on you because you're here right now. I can't talk to her right now. So let's just hear what you. So that's the first thing they do that's wrong. They separate you. They divide so they can conquer. And at Straightway Truth Ministry, no. What if I'm talking about a woman have a black eye? She got the biggest black eye, and we'll say, "What? Okay, hold on, hold. Who did husband? Okay, call your husband right here. We will call the husband right there before she even starts speaking. This is what I would do, and this is where I heard it from Pastor Dow. We want to hear, boom. It says, "Hey, your wife has a black eye. Are you aware of this? This is your woman, right? Yep, that's my woman. You testify this is your woman. Why is her eyes closed up? What's going on here?" And then now we can hear the testimony. We can hear him. Then we can hear what happened. She can say, "Well, he hit me, boom, boom, boom." But now everybody is involved can hear the matter. There is no he said, she says. In Christianity, you're going to get a whole bunch of he said, she said. We don't even know what abuse is because in Christianity, there is no standard. So I digress a little bit, but did that make sense, Deacon? I just want to.
It makes sense. Yep, I'm tracking.
So I really want to just put this out here so men can be free to be men. I want you guys to experience the freedom that I experienced being in this ministry. Now, maybe it's just being part of Straightway, but Straightway just followed the book. Pastor don't sit here and try to micromanage. He doesn't even micromanage communities, let alone another man's house. He doesn't even do that. So if he's not going to do that with the communities, how much more is he not going to do that when it comes to another man's house?
Exactly.
He's very sensitive, not sitting there usurping a man's authority over that. You don't do that. The Bible says you don't do that. Matter of fact, I can't even think of the scripture that talks about that. You don't get in affairs with another man. Don't, you know what I'm talking? I can't think of it right now.
Don't meddle in another man's
affair. Don't meddle in another man's affair. Don't covet. There's a commandment. Thou shalt not covet your neighbor's what? His house, his wife, his male servants, his female servants, his ox, his donkey, whatever belongs to your neighbor. You can't be coveting and doing things with another man's house. That belongs to him. And we literally stand on the word. And I did not experience in Christianity. Christianity will trespass left and right and not even think twice. It won't even feel bad and won't even apologize. They will take your family and hide them for days on end. And they will feel justified doing that. Even they know you're looking for your family. How do I know? Because it happened to me. And this is how it happens in Christianity. And being in this realm of divorce and all this thing, I've learned that this is normal. This is normal practice. I thought mine was unique. Mine is not unique. I know it sounds bizarre. I maybe just be one of the few people who actually came out and admit what was going on with me in real time. This is going on. That's why a lot of people can relate. It's like, wow, that's happening to me. But guess what? Everybody told me, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Yeah, just don't say nothing. It was Pastor Dad that told me to share my testimony. And I'm glad I said something because now it's giving a lot of other people strength to be able to get their strength back, to get their chutzpah back, to get whatever they need to get to leave their home. Because we've given it up to these women, especially when the book says don't give your strength over to a woman. So let me show you this video. How long is this one video? This is a video that comes up, and this is how the world defines abuse. And this is an infomercial. I don't even know what it is. What you
it's
call
only
it?
Like 30 seconds.
It's 30 seconds. We're gonna play it. Play it for them.
A loving partner shouldn't take away your choice of clothes, your choice to wear makeup, or the music you choose to listen to. They shouldn't take away your purse or your car keys. And a loving partner shouldn't take away your phone so that when your daughter calls again and again, you can't answer. If your partner's controlling you, it's domestic abuse and against the law. Don't delay in seeking help during the current coronavirus situation. Call the 24-hour helpline in confidence or visit safer.scot.
Did you hear this? It literally says it is against the law for a man to control his house, to control. Let me tell you right now, if this is illegal, then I am illegally controlling Bree right now. Bree is under the control of me, her master, Elder Kabeer. I control my woman. I control my son and my daughter in my house. Do I have control, Deacon?
Yes, Elder. Yep.
Deacon, you too are breaking the you doing some illegal stuff too, because I know you have control over your woman.
Yeah.
You have total control over your women, your children, what they wear, what they dress, how they eat. I mean, according to this video, you are doing something that's illegal. How do you feel about that? Did you know that what you were doing was illegal?
It may be illegal, but it ain't unlawful.
But guys,
but
that's it.
Show me the law.
So now it's like, oh, see, when I was in Christianity, I didn't know. I just kind of got a sense that man is the guilty party and the woman is the victim. But I didn't know, like, clearly this is the definition. So a man having control over his home is considered abuse when it comes to this Babylon, this mystery Babylon system. That is. Can you just play it one more time? I just want to hear, because I was just playing one. It's only 30 seconds. Let's listen to it again so you guys don't think I'm making this up.
A loving partner shouldn't take away your choice of clothes, your choice to wear makeup, or the music you choose to listen to. They shouldn't take away your purse or your car keys. And a loving partner shouldn't take away your phone so that when your daughter calls again and again, you can't answer. If your partner's controlling you, it's domestic abuse and against the law. Don't delay in seeking help during the current coronavirus situation. Call the 24-hour helpline in confidence or visit safer.scot.
Now, guys, like I said, I believe there are abuse. I believe men can and have the ability to abuse their women, but I do not believe everything that video said is abusive according to the word of Yah.
Yep.
Because I can say, go ahead.
I was just gonna say real quick, a synonym for a control is order. So if there's chaos in my house, you better believe I'm gonna make sure there's order in my house. So if you want to call order abuse, then I guess it is abuse then.
So look at this, guys. So I'll be considered an elder or leader, right? You're a deacon, right? Can you go to 1 Timothy? I just want to read something here. Let's go to 1 Timothy.
Okay, give me a second here to pull it.
To be a leader, right? To be a leader or an elder or a deacon, the Bible gives some type of requirements, right? And
is that 1 Timothy?
Yeah, 1 Timothy chapter 3. Just start at verse 3. Just start at verse 1, and then I just want to get the context of this stuff. But right now, just go. Let me not say nothing. Just read.
This is a true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop, he desireth a good work.
A good work. Now, is that bad work or good work?
Good work.
Okay, let's see what's going to take. Okay, let's see what's going to take if he wants this office. Go.
A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of a wife, vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, apt to teach, not given to wine, no striker, not greedy of filthy lucre, but patient, not a brawler, not covetous.
This sounds all good so far, right? Everything is sounding good, right?
It's a lot of control there.
No, but right now it's just self-control. It looks like it's more self-control.
Yeah.
Right. This is a lot. Okay, now go to verse 4.
One that ruleth his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity.
Okay, now hold up now. See, according to that commercial or whatever we just saw there, that verse right there saying one that controls, one that practices domestic violence, according to that commercial. Because he's like one that rules. What does it mean to rule? Huh?
I can look it up here. Let me switch it.
He has to rule his house well, right?
I don't think you can see that. Hold on. If you give
me don't worry. Don't worry. But one that rules his house well, have his children in subjection with all gravity. Gravity is what? Let me look at the scripture version. I want to see what the scripture version says with this. One who rules his own house well, having his children in subjection with all reverence.
It says to stand before, that is to preside or to practice, maintain, be over, rule.
Rule, okay. So I don't know if that helped a lot, but it's somebody who has his house, because it goes on. Well, keep reading. Let's just go on. Just keep reading, because I think it talks about if he can't do that. What does it say? King James. For if a man
know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of Elohim?
So if my children running around, my wife back talking me, disrespecting me, doing whatever she wants, would I be fit to be an elder at Straightway?
Not according to this.
Not according to this, but according to now, it makes sense why in Christianity, why women can overtalk their husband in Christianity, because that's considered domestic abuse if a man has too much control over his family. Matter of fact, it reminded me of a time. I got to share this story. There was a time when I was a deacon at this church called Living Hope Church, right? The last church I was a part of. And I remember talking to a fellow, well, he was an elder. I was a deacon, but I was talking to an elder. And we were outside, and my family was in a nice air-conditioned van with TVs. They can watch TVs and everything like that. And I was talking to him, now normally after service, my wife, my children, they go talk to their friends. And I'm here just waiting, right? But then finally we get to the car. We're about to leave. Everybody's leaving, and I'm here talking, getting into a good discussion with the elder. And the elder pointed out, said, "Hey, your family is waiting on you." I said, "Oh, they can wait. I mean, I'm here talking to you." I'm like, they can wait. I'm the father. I'm like, I ain't think nothing. He said, "Man, hey," and he kind of insinuated that was bad, that I shouldn't, that wasn't a good thing to do, to have my family wait on me. And you would think that my family was in the hot sun. Even if they were waiting in the hot sun, I was out there talking in the hot sun. What thing? But they're in an air conditioner, comfortable, and I'm here having a conversation with another man, and this man was showing me that what I was doing was abusive, kind of. Does that make sense? He wanted to point to me, your family's waiting on you. I said, they can keep waiting. Was that a wrong response? Was that abusive?
No.
Let me see. We got 63 people in here. How many of you guys think that if my family was sitting in an air conditioner van, TV, I'm just telling you what they had, the accommodations. If you believe that was abusive, put in a 10. If you don't think that was abusive for having my family wait on me so I can talk to another man, and in this case, it just happened to be an elder, but any man, but I was talking to another man, and my family had to wait 20, 30 minutes for me to finish my conversation with this man. Do you think that was abusive, that my family had to wait on me in an air-conditioned van? Put a 10. I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to answer that. 10 if you think it was abusive, 0 if you don't think it was abusive. Deacon, I think I know what you're thinking, huh?
What's that?
You probably think that was okay. I'll wait. Let me see. I want to give the answers out. Let's see. We got people. Because maybe somebody may think so. Because I don't know. I thought nothing of it. I was just thinking like, okay, they can wait. I mean, like, what was I supposed to do? Like, okay, thank you for. I knew my family was there. I'm the one that I had the keys. I'm the one that opened the door so they can get into the car, into the van. And I literally just was oblivious. But maybe this is something that maybe it was wrong. I don't know. Let's see what everybody else thinks. I don't think it was wrong, but I just didn't know that was the norm.
Didn't you say also that
we got some sisters on here saying that it's not abusive?
Didn't you say also that somebody was saying it's not normal or it's abusive to see your children being so well behaved?
Yeah, that was another one. Somebody thought that it was not normal to have children under. I mean, all my children. It didn't matter if they were infants, but really, I think 2, 3, 1, whatever. That they were able to sit in the front of the congregation, hands folded, listen, and not be running around. They thought that somebody said that cannot be right. These children must be abused. This is not normal. It's normal for children to act up, to fuss, to can't sit still, move. I said, but no, not my children. I train them. I train them at home. Training begins at home. Isn't that a saying that training begins at home? So that's all I was doing. I trained them. They can sit for hours watching paint on the wall. They can sit there for hours. I trained them. So when they go to church, guess what? It's exciting. Wow, there's somebody up there talking. Is that wrong? Is that abusive too? Did I chose to have my children be able to sit and be able to sit through a congregation and listen to what the pastor have to say? They said, well, they should be in the back with the other children running around and watching cartoons, and then we give them back to you after the service is over. No, not my children. Those are for bastards. My children are not bastards. I take care of them. I love them. I'm pouring into them.
That's it.
But so we got a lot of zeros. Did you see any ones in there? I didn't see not single ones. And I even seen one that looked like their sisters in there, and they all put 0. So not one single person thought that was abusive. But this elder literally told me that was wrong. And he started reprimanding me and telling me that just because you just big football player and you this stuff, you should be mindful of how you treat your family. I'm like, what? And he was, guys, I'm just telling you just the facts, okay? He was a Caucasian man. I'm you see what I look like, a good-looking Hugh brother here, right? But the way I was thinking that maybe this is a white thing, that's what I was thinking at the time. I said, okay, maybe this is a white thing. I don't know. But when I grew up, our life revolved around my father, and my father wasn't born in America. He's born in Nigeria. So to me, I mean, what's any different than what my father did? My father, when he walked, he'd be ahead of us. We move when he moved. When he said, let's go, we went. If he says we can stay, we stayed. I mean, so that's how I grew up. So to me, it was normal. And so I think this guy was trying to help me to understand that this is not good. This is very abusive. And then he started telling me how he used to be like that. I'm like, okay, maybe that's what you're doing, but this isn't. My family wait on me all the time. What's wrong with that? So anyway, I'm glad you guys participated. Thank you for participating. But once again, that was considered abusive. So I already know, according to Christianity, the way I treat my woman, my children, my seed, guess what? I already know they're going to think it's abusive because I control what clothes they wear. My women can't just walk around without their head covered. Even if I see a little bit of hair, if you see me, I'll tell them, hey, cover that. I will make a correction. They can't wear makeup. I remember when we first when me and Bree made our covenant, I told her I don't want her talking to her family for indefinitely until further notice. I think it ended up being 6 months to a year because I said I wanted us to become one, and I didn't want all the distraction. And I told her she can't talk to her family. To this day, they don't even have her number. If they want to talk to her, they have to go through me. So that's probably abusive too. Now, only just key people that her dad has access to her because he respected me and one of her sisters. But her mama has to go through me. She has to get clearance. Is it okay if Bree gives me a call? I said, okay. Or Bree wants to, is it okay if I call my mom? But it goes through me. So this will be considered abuse. So Sister Bree right now should be on the phone with 911 saying, I'm being abused right now. Mm-hmm. That according to this video. Now, Bree wouldn't do that because she loves me. And more importantly, she loves the Most High Yah. You see the difference?
Come on, Elder.
Then you got car keys. I don't even think my woman even drives anymore. Unless I tell her she can drive or whatever. Just the way we're set up doesn't mean she can't drive, but there's been no reason for her to drive. But she just can't just get in the car and just leave. Now, she can walk out of here and catch an Uber or catch a cab or something, or ask somebody to come and pick her up if she don't want to be with me. But
now I see your women, and if you're this abusive, controlling, and all this stuff, how come they walk around with a smile? What's going on? That doesn't sound right.
Hey, look at we got. I know my woman. She walks because we have a land. We have gates. They walk all the way to the gate. You know they can actually walk around the gate. Just want to. Just share that with you. Guess what? Not one of them have ever tried to go around the gate and say, help, help. I haven't seen it. People have come to visit and they say, wow, it seemed like a safe haven. It just seemed like a serenity to see the women working together, cooking and smiling, and the children and all this stuff. And I'm telling you, I have a lot of control over this community, and I have a lot of control with way more control because I don't get involved with another man's house too, even with Deacon. But I have a lot of control when it comes to my women. So I always tell people on Straightway Praise Land, if you want to be a part of this community, a part of Straightway, it is un-American. I just want to let you know that, and this is proof that this is un-American. So anyway, let's get going here. I just want to just address this, but these are the stuff that I was taught when I was in Christianity doing counseling. And I got to say, guys, I feel bad. And I made it right by making, recognizing what I did wrong and calling this one brother. But I remember I helped destroy a marriage, actually. This guy was supposedly cheating. He was with another woman. And I told him, you need to go tell your woman. He didn't want to go tell her. So then I said, well, guess what? If you want to, I'll go tell her. And I felt I was well within my rights to do that. But then when I came into the truth, I said, man, that was wrong. That was wrong. So let's just go with what the Bible says. So before we go into how I feel and how I see things, I want to just go straight to the book. So the first thing I can think of is 1 Peter chapter. And if you want to chime in on something that I may have missed, because like I said, we're just really letting the Spirit lead here. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 2. 1 Peter chapter 2. And let's see the roles. It's all about, we got to find out what's concrete. We got a man and we got a woman. This is about relationship from a biblical perspective, according to Yah. And so we got a man and a woman. And so this woman asked the question, how does she know? I think that a lot of advice that she got was right. Either you're going to leave the man or you submit. Even the Bible tells you can do that. So let's go to 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 18.
Servants, be subject to your masters with all fear, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the forward.
So when I look at this right here, servants and master. Now, my woman, and every man is different how the woman address her master or her husband. But my woman will address me as master. That's how she addressed me. That's what I desire. That's what I require. So she addressed me as master. She is my servant. She literally serves me. So this is talking about a master and a servant relationship. My woman is my servant, but she would tell you that I'm the chief servant, because as much as she serves me, I'm serving her just like Yeshua serves us. But read.
For this is thankworthy if a man for conscience towards Yah endure grief, suffering wrongfully.
So if a servant is being suffered wrongfully, it's saying that this is thankworthy, that if you endure grief, suffer wrongfully. Doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong and you suffer wrong. It's saying that this is for conscience towards Yah, that you're enduring grief. So if I was to answer this woman, which I can't really address it because I don't know all the facts, but I'm saying, hey, if you feel like you're suffering and you're not happy, then do it unto Yah. If you think it's really wrong, let Yah be the judge of this. Read.
For what glory is it if, when ye be buffeted for your faults, ye shall take it patiently? But if when you do well and suffer for it, ye take it patiently, this is acceptable with Yah.
See, guys, listen, this is what's acceptable before Yah. It is acceptable for Yah. Like if you supposedly, and I'm going to use quote unquote, being abused, and you think it's wrong, because it's usually based on the definition of the person, in this case, the woman, being abused. If it's really wrong and you take it patiently and you subject yourself to this man, the Bible says this is acceptable with Yah. This is acceptable with Yah. I can promise you a lot of men deal with more abuse with women than is women with men. And they have to deal with it patiently. So this is not only talking about to a wife to a husband, but this is also talking about the husband too. And I think a lot of husbands deal with this naturally. We will deal patiently with a wicked ass woman when we should have probably get rid of them.
Come on, elder.
Verse 21, read.
For even hereunto were ye called, because
So we were called. Many are called, but few are chosen. Let's see.
Because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example.
So we have an example from the Messiah himself. He gave us an example. See, that's what Pastor always talks about. We need to lead by example. We have the greatest example in Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ. He gave us an example. And I bet you not many of these women that go around claiming that they're being abused did it because they were doing right and it suffered the way Christ suffered. We know he was sinless. We know there's a testimony that he was sinless, perfect in the sight of Yah. Yah says This is my son who I am well pleased. And he suffered, leaving us an example that we should what? Not follow? Well, that's different. Not follow. Don't take that literal, Kabeer. That's too black and white. It says that we should what? What do you say?
That ye should follow his steps.
So that's why I'll tell this woman, follow the step of Yeshua. What would Yeshua do? You guys always say WWJD. What would Jesus do? Guess what Jesus would do? He would stay in that marriage. He will suffer. He will work things out. He will subject himself. Is that what it says here? Is that the example? But maybe he's not talking about a marriage situation. Maybe this is just talking about a master and servant relationship, like a slave and a master. Maybe that's all it's talking about. That's true. So let's keep reading because I don't want to take things out of context. It didn't say anything about a husband and wife. This is just talking about, I could be doing eisegesis right now. What eisegesis, exegesis? I could be doing eisegesis because it just said master. But yeah, my wife just called me, my woman does call me master, and she is my servant, no doubt. But I don't want to do eisegesis, so let's just keep reading. Read.
Who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth. Who, when he was reviled not again. When he suffered, he threatened not, but committed
So he suffered and threatened not. He didn't say, I'm going to take you to court. I'm going to do this. I'm leaving. He suffered. He says he's threatened. He committed himself to what?
Himself to him that judges righteously.
So he just said, I'm going to trust in Yah on this one. I'm being treated unfair. Jesus was persecuted without a cause. He was hated without a cause. And here is telling us that when he suffered, he threatened not. But he did what? What did he do? He committed. Read that right there. He committed. Read that verse again.
Who, when he was reviled not again. When he suffered, he threatened not, but committed himself to him that judges righteously.
So he put up with the abuse because of his conscience towards his heavenly Father. Read.
Who his own self bare our sins in his own body on the tree, that we, being dead to sins, should live unto righteousness, by whose stripes ye were healed. For ye were as sheep going astray, but are now returned unto the shepherd and bishop of your souls.
Man, I got my uncle from Nigeria is on here. Hallelujah, uncle. Like, I don't know. Normally I'll say Akasa, Akasa, uncle. Oh my goodness, that's my dad's brother. Hallelujah. He's been following me. Okay, so he says, for he was a sheep gone astray. Okay, now you Deacon just read all of this. Now we don't stop with chapters. Let's keep reading. Go now to the next chapter, chapter 3, verse 1.
Likewise.
Stop. Oh, what did that say?
Likewise.
Likewise. Don't just go read through that so quick. It says likewise. Likewise what? Everything we just read in the beginning is talking about likewise. The same way Yeshua, the same way that Paul talked about a master and servant relationship, the same example that we see Yeshua endured because of his conscience towards his heavenly Father. So likewise, ye wives, read.
Ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands.
To your own husband. It says, so I'm going to answer this woman's question. This is what you do. You subject yourself to your own husband. You acknowledge that this is your husband. You his second or third wife. I don't know what order, but you is one of his women. You need to subject yourself to this man. You shouldn't be sitting here writing me an email shaming your master. You shouldn't be doing that, because everything you saying is making me think twice. Like, what's going on here? See, in Christianity, this would have been acceptable. This would have been perfectly acceptable. Read. And
that if any obey not the word.
So if he's not obeying the word, now most women say, well, he's not following Jesus. He's not obeying the word. What did she say? He's not This is what she said. He's neglecting me. He refused to treat me per Torah, per the law. So it says that even if one obeyed not the Torah, the word, okay, maybe this is the one what she's looking for. Because I'm going to tell you what the book says to do in this situation. Read. What does it say? Maybe it says to leave. What does it say? They what?
They also may, without the word,
Wow.
be won by the conversation of the wise.
You're not going to win them with this. This is too many words. Too many words from this woman. 2 pages. You got 2 pages of her just literally just spilling the beans about shaming her husband. About he's doing this and he doesn't understand this and this. So if he's doing this wrong, who should he go learn from? Who then you try to manipulate, get other men to try to go and talk to your husband. This is what I experienced in Christianity. Every time my wife didn't like what I was doing, she'll go tell her girlfriend tell her simp-ass husband, then her simp-ass husband come and talk to me and teach me about what the book says about love. Well, you gotta love, and I'm like, oh, I said, where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? Why do you feel the need to talk to me about love? Do I have something written on my head that says I don't know nothing about love? Was I not saved by the love of Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ? Why are you having this conversation? And then it always goes back to because my wife goes around talking behind my back.
Smear campaign.
Smear campaign. Didn't even know it was that bad. I just saw this little And this is what happens a lot. All right.
Remember that video I showed you with the gender reveal? And the
yes.
man
Yes. Yes.
That was a smear campaign.
Man, that was right there. But no one says anything. Yeah. No one. Anyway, keep reading. Let's finish through here. Read.
While they behold your chaste conversations coupled with fear.
And conversation doesn't mean talking. Doesn't mean this. I just want to make sure. Conversation means behavior. Your behavior, your chaste behavior, coupled with fear, reverence. Read.
Whose adorning, let it not be that of outward adorning, of plaiting of the hair, and of wearing of gold, or of putting on of apparel. But let it be the hidden man of the heart, and that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of Yah of great price.
See, this was a great price, a meek and quiet spirit. You can win your husband. You think your husband doing all this? Do what the book says. It says it right here. Win him over by your chaste conversation. But from here, from your own lips, from your own writing, you said your husband says that I am selfish, self-entitled for asking for a wedding, for asking for rings. You say you're a Hebrew Israelite. When does Hebrew Israelites start wearing rings? That's a Roman Greco type of crap you talking about. Ooh, what's a ring?
Yeah.
So you want him to be in bondage to you, and you're not even the first wife. You're the second, third woman. And you want him to put a ring on your finger? How about put a head cover on?
Yeah, that's actually
to show that this is authority. That's more biblical according to 1 Corinthians 11. It didn't say put a ring on. It says cover your head.
So that's actually Baal worship.
Yeah.
You look at the history, it's the term Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
So that's actually comes from that time where it would be a sign of a covenant between Baal and the people sacrificing.
Mm-hmm. See, and Deke be knowing this stuff. So guys, this I'm just listening to this woman. I'm listening, and I'm thinking like, do I read it? I don't even want to read it because I just all of a sudden a whole bunch of red flags just start popping up. But I am doing a video, but I'm not going to sit here and validate something that's not sticking to the book. So I'm going through the book. This is what I do. I start going through the book, and you guys are seeing this live of how I'm thinking this thing through. And if you think I'm thinking it, please, guys, this is open. The chat room is open. Put it in there. Give me book, chapter, and verse when I'm saying is wrong. Because this is a serious topic here. Because I'm not for abuse, but this woman talking about right now, I think she's abusing her husband. She seems like the crazy one. But let's keep reading. Read.
For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also, who trusted in Yah, adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands.
I can tell you right now, when I saw this, that's what kept coming up in my spirit. I said, this woman do not trust Yah. I know she doesn't trust Yah. You said, how do you know she doesn't trust Yah? She mentioned she's Hebrew. She said Torah, God, this and that. But I'm like, if she trusted Yah, this would not be the fruit. This is not the fruit of a woman who trusts in the Most High Yah. Because the holy women of Yah, those who trusted in Yah, subjected themselves. They subjected themselves to their own husband. Do you remember? Keep reading. Let's go to verse chapter 3, verse 6.
Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him master.
Calling him master. Woo-wee. So Sarah was abused by Abraham, the father of the faith. So according to this, Abraham would have been legally considered domestic violence.
They would have arrested him.
They would have arrested him. And we know he tried to kill one of his sons.
Oh, shit.
Woo-wee. Man. Abraham.
We're gonna put him on call Child Protective Service on Abraham.
Oh my God. Where's Child Protective Services? Read.
Whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well, and are not afraid with any amazement.
Let me give you an example. Can you imagine? See if you can pull this out. I'll tell the story, but I want to give you an example of what Sarah did. Can you imagine if I would have done something like this? I'm going to a land, a strange land. I heard that these people are like wicked. They don't care. They have no type of conscience. And I decide to say, hey, Bree, tell them you're my sister, okay? Because, she used to be my sister, right? Sister Bree, right? So tell me you're my sister, right? Then I tell her, this is my sister. And then I allow her to go with this man to take her to be his woman, just so I save my ass, right? You'll be thinking to myself like, wow, is that abusive? Like, what kind of man is that? Aren't you supposed to protect her and all this stuff? Even in that, let's see what Yah did here. Read Genesis 20. Read.
And Abraham journeyed from thence towards the south country, and dwelt between Kadesh and Shur, and sojourned in Gerar. And Abraham said of Sarah his wife, she is my sister. And Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent and took Sarah.
Took her, kidnapped her. No, they didn't kidnap her. Consent. You can have her. He didn't stop them. Read.
But Yah came to Abimelech in a dream by night.
Now look at this. Did it say Abraham came to Abimelech? Who came to rescue Sarah from Abimelech?
Yeah.
Yah. See, Sarah trusted in Yah so much that she subjected herself to her master, even though it didn't make any sense. She did what her master said. That's my brother. I'm his sister. She went. They didn't have to take her by force. She went willingly out of obedience to her husband. How many of you modern women or women who says they're Israelite, how many of you women would have done that, or you would have looked at your husband and start rolling your eyes and rolling your neck and thinking like, are you out of your freaking mind? No, you didn't. I can't even roll my neck. I may freaking tear a muscle in there. But anyway, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But Sarah submitted herself because of her conscience and fear to the Most High Yah. So that's where that story's coming from. She called him master. She subjected herself to her own master. This is what the holy women of Yah did back in those days. Was Sarah abused? I guess according to this commercial, Sarah's experiencing domestic violence right now. She's being treated like a property. Matter of fact, she is property. There's no she's being treated like a property. She sees herself as the property of her master, Abraham. Okay, let's keep reading. Let's read. I don't know people connect this. Like, why does Sarah get this credit? I mean, how many women you know today? If I don't even know how many sisters I have on here, but how many of you sisters would have been comfortable doing what Sarah did? If you would be comfortable, put it in a 7. And while Deacon's reading, put in a 7. If you are a woman, would you have felt comfortable submitting yourself to your husband if he told you to go and just go with these people? put in a 7. If you won't, put in 0. See, look, at least see Angela, she's here following, and she said probably not. She understands that's hard. See, she's being honest. That's hard. When you really think about it, like, dang, you know this man is wicked, and you're gonna tell me to go in there? You start looking at your man like he's like, okay, lose respect for him or something.
Yes, we have one on his sister.
Okay, yeah.
But Yah came to Abimelech in a dream by night and said to him, Behold, thou art but a dead man. For the woman which thou hast taken, for she is a man's wife.
Read.
But Abimelech had not come near her, and he said, Master, wilt thou slay also a righteous nation? Said he not unto me, She is my sister? And she herself said, He is my brother.
Look at this. So it shows you that Sarah was obedient. She said, that's her brother. He said, that's her sister. Literally, like there was no, he didn't kidnap her. He said, okay, boom. It seemed like everything was on the up and up. And Yah shows up in a dream. See, the book says that Yah can move the heart of a king like a river. Didn't he harden the hearts of Pharaoh in Mizraim, Egypt?
Yep.
He can move the heart of a king like a river. See, Sarah believed in it so much that she went in there knowing at the end of the day, I'm in the hands of the Most High Yah. And she was able to make sure, and then now because of Sarah's obedience, they end up leaving with riches.
Mm-hmm.
Let me let him finish reading. Read. And Carla, I want to say Obama, Obama. She even said this would be difficult. Yep. See, I appreciate that. But that's the standard that women today should be striving for. If you truly consider yourself the daughter of Sarah. She wouldn't have sit here and wrote 2 pages of emails to some pastor or priest saying, my master, he told me to say I'm his sister, and had me go to some guy named Abimelech, and he almost had sex with me. She didn't do all this. And because Yah saw that, Yah came in and protected her. Twice. And I'm going to tell you, we're not going to read the second one, but this happened twice. Did that happen twice with Abraham? I think it happened twice, right?
I want to say yes.
Yes.
I know it happened with Isaac.
Isaac, yeah, but I think it happened twice.
Yeah, I think one of them was with Pharaoh, and
yeah. Okay. Read.
In the integrity of my heart and innocency of my hands have I done this. And Yah said unto him in a dream, Yea, I know that thou didst this in the integrity of thy heart.
So that means there was no fight. There was no disagreement. He really believed that this was his sister. They were brothers and sisters. There was no trespassing going on. He thought everything was up and up. And Yah had to show up in the dream and said, man, don't touch that woman. You are a dead man. You see, Yah, when he shows up, and I had a dream and I heard Yah, I'm telling you, when Yah shows up, man, the fear of Yah, man, I'm telling you, this is not one of the things, oh yeah, I had a dream and Yah talked to me. No. When Yah speaks to you, bro, I maybe my experience, I only experienced it one time, but maybe my experience is just different. But I'm telling you, it was not one of those things like, it was like, oh, we was walking on the beach and Yah just told me you don't love me. And no, bro, fear. I mean, I'm talking about, I get it now. When I hear when angels will show up and talk to these people that we will come marry, or anytime when Yah will show up, you always hear them come up and say, fear not. Fear not, bro. I'm telling you, when somebody don't even tell me that they had any type of fear or any kind, then I question it. If you ever heard from Yah, you couldn't have heard it, because there will be a trembling that will come over you. You can't even help yourself. Somebody will have to tell you, fear not, it's I. It's okay. It's just, yeah, this is just a powerful force. So trust me, I know Yah can move the heart of a king. He can move any man because we become puddle in his hands. You really learn how you really understand how insignificant you are in comparison to the Most High Yah? Read.
For I also withheld thee from sinning against me. Therefore suffered I thee not to touch her.
Just read this last one. Just read this one, and they get the point. Read.
Now therefore restore the man his wife, for he is a prophet, and he shall pray for thee, and thou shalt live. And if thou restore her not, know thou that thou shalt surely die, thou and all that are thine.
So, guys, long story short, we hear because of Abraham and Sarah, and so they lived. They became wealthy from this encounter because this man did not want to mess with Yah's prophet. He did not want to mess with another man's woman. And so once that became aware, he pulled back, gave him gold, silver, like, hey, please, we want to be innocent here because we just heard from we heard from your God, your Elohim. And he does not want. See, that's that. What type of faith? How many women have that type of faith? How many of you guys out there that have women that have that type of faith? I'm even challenging my women. How many of you guys have that type of faith? That's the type of faith that we should all be shooting for. Not this type. This shows unbelief. People that believe that their place is in the lake of fire. In the lake of fire. If you think your husband is abusive, guess what? When you meet your maker, you're going to be in the lake of fire. And I want to hear you calling Yah domestic abuse. You're going to be burning in the lake of fire for eternity if you don't repent. Which one is more abusive? What your husband is doing or being in the lake of fire? Anyway, so where are we? So now, I digress. So I just wanted to show you that's the type of faith that we should have. And then likewise, husband, you should also love your wife, right? Live with them according to knowledge, it says. According to knowledge. Read.
Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered.
So it's not saying abuse your women here. It's saying that, look at the same way about Sarah did. If men are abusing their women, this is what I believe. I don't believe as a man, I don't have to step in and play Yah. I don't have to play Yah. Now, if something presents itself and there's a true them, then we can step in. But I'm not going to just proactively just be trying to step in and meddle in another man's affair. Because I know that at the end of the day, if that man is doing wrong by that woman, Yah will take care of that man and give that woman a better man. Look at Abigail. She was married to a ball fool. And look what Yah did. He took him out and gave her a better man in David, King David. You see what I'm saying? So I don't worry about that. And I've seen that in my lifetime where Yah has done that for women, where they have gotten better men. So if you're truly righteous, Yah will come in and rescue you. I've seen that in this truth. I didn't see that in Christianity, but I have seen that maybe twice, two or three times. I've seen that in this ministry. Mm-hmm. So, man, I tell you, Yah is good, man. I don't question Yah. I believe, I don't doubt he is good. He will protect the righteous. If you're truly righteous, you truly doing things unto Yah, he will protect you. Now, let me show you what the book says about women. Then we're going to show some videos here. I want to show you just a series of things from Proverbs of the book literally warning men about abuse. See, I always wonder, like, why do we always think that men are the abuser? But I'm going to be honest, I'm 45, right? I'm 45. Let me not I'm about to be 46, but I'm 45. In my 45 years, going on 46, from my experience, and I don't know. And matter of fact, I'm going to I just want you guys to do this because it's not going to be like a thing. I just want to curious. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about, and then I want to see what you guys come up with, but don't steal my answer, okay? But in my 45 years, so I want you to put your age, don't put your age, because some people don't want to put age, but just, I'm 45, right? From my experience from being a little boy to being an adult right now to present, I've heard of men abusing women. I've heard it through TV, through commercials like that, movies, things being insinuated. But if I was to go off of my personal experience, eyewitness, or just being involved in marriage counseling, I'm just using all my marriage counselor, right? I can honestly say the abuse came more from the women. And I would say 90% the women were causing the abuse, and 10% of the time it was initiated by the men. Do you hear what I'm saying? Most things where I see there's an issue between a husband and wife, from a little boy all the way to where I am now, even my own personal experience, my own marriage, most of the conflict came 90% of the time from the woman initiating and abusing, being the abuser, and the men 10% of the time being the abuser. 90 to 10 women. So I want you guys who are looking at this, tell me, give me a ratio, 90 to 10, 80 to 20, and then put woman or man. So whoever comes up, that means you're saying 90 to 10 women, meaning women majority of the time is the problem. Give me a percentage. I'm gonna give you guys time. And I'm gonna use this opportunity to do a bathroom break. So I want you guys to tell me, and then we want to show you guys a video. So share with me what you believe. Okay. So let me give you an example. So when I was growing up, I'm just, I don't have to get into details, but I saw my parents get into arguments. I've seen fights. I've ever seen police come, and I can just tell you, I've never seen my dad do anything to initiate. Just growing up, I'm just being honest. Okay. Then I look at, I have a sister. Okay, she's never been married, so I can't use that. But I know how dealing with her. I'm just looking at my relationships of my years of the women's I've been with. I know I never caused anything. Now that's just obviously they can't defend themselves, but I'm just going off of that. I've seen friends who've gone through. I've seen guys when I used to play for the Packers, more so professionally, because a lot of us professionally were married or at least have family dynamics. A lot of guys would go to the bars. A lot of guys would stay in the locker room longer. A lot of guys that had families did not want to go home. And I never understood why, because I always liked going home, not because necessarily my woman was good. I just was committed to being a family man, to be a godly man. And that was, but can I tell you, when I was done with the Packers, this was my routine, right? I'll be at the Packers after a long day of work, practice, I'll shower, and I will be in that shower for an extended period of time, maybe 30 minutes to 40 minutes long. The guys used to make fun of me. I'm just telling you. But that was the only time for me at that time that I felt that I just had like a place of quietness. Is just my time, because I knew that once I left work, I have to go back to work again. See, that I want you guys to hear what I just said. I felt like after work, dealing with the pressure of the NFL, performing at a high level, $1 million contract. Then I get this shower break. Then I had to go home, look forward to seeing my children. But then I felt like when I came home, I had to go back to work. I had to tell myself, I got to work. And the reason why I felt like work going home, because I had a contentious woman, but I didn't put two and two together. Because now that I'm in this truth, and now that I have a woman who is obedient, who I have control over, who I don't have to fight over. I mean, there's different problems, but not the same. But I don't feel like it's work. I don't feel like it's work. I get to actually do what I like to do. I get to pour into her, teach her. If I have to discipline my children, I don't consider that work. I mean, it's part of being a dad. It's part of being a husband. But it did not feel the same way like it did when I was in Christianity. In Christianity, it was stressful being a husband, a Christian husband, because everything revolved around the woman's emotions.
Contention.
It's like if she's not happy, I'm a bad husband. That's how I felt. If she's not happy, it's my fault. If she's happy, okay. You know, I mean, my performance was based off of the emotion of a woman. And that's very stressful. If anybody, if you don't believe me, try to go see, just do it for 3 days. Try to make a woman happy. Women, I always say this, women, try to make yourself happy. Let's see how that works for you. You know what I'm saying? That is an impossible task. But me thinking, man, I can do this, man. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be the man. I'm gonna make sure that my woman, and because of my competitive, I thought I could do it. And guess what, guys? I did a good job according to Christianity. 16 years, not hearing the truth. I could have been like that to the day I died and not even know that I was being oppressed. I could have done that to the day I died. And you know the secret? I'm gonna tell you the secret of a long marriage in Christianity. You guys ready? If you guys want to hear the secret for a man to be married to a woman for a long time, type in 3 that you want to know. If you don't want to know, just press 0. But I can tell you the secret. Maybe you guys already know. Maybe it's not really a secret, but I can tell you because I did it for 16 years. The thing that changed my course was the Most High Yah. And now I couldn't use that technique anymore. It was but I'm going to tell you the secret. And I didn't even think I was a simp. I mean, I was actually, I held my manly frame for the most part, but biblically speaking, I kind of got trapped into doing something that I thought was of Yah. I was really doing it towards Yah, but I was doing it incorrectly. Brother Tommy said, hell no, I don't want to know, but I'm still saying, okay, enough people want to hear it. Here's the secret, guys. The secret to having a long marriage in Christianity is compromise. You have to compromise what you desire and just do whatever the woman wants. Now, what does that look like? Now, you would think like I didn't compromise. Now, I wasn't going to compromise anything. Obviously, when the Shabbat came in, I wasn't willing to compromise that. Let me give you an example. I built this big home, right? This is a big property here we built, right? A lot of people get divorced building homes like this. They don't even get to live. A lot of people that tries to do a project that I did was me and my ex-wife. They don't even, by the time that project is done, if it even gets done, by the time that project is done, they're already going through a divorce. They don't even move into the house. I can't tell you how many people who build houses, and I told myself, see, here's what the competitive, that's not going to happen to me. We are going to build this house. We're going to find a way to get through it. And you know where it happens? When it comes to making a decision, what color you want the walls, where you want this to be, where you want this, all these decisions that have to be made. And I remember being frustrated in the beginning. I was like, what? I work my ass off and I can't even choose what I want and do what I want, Now I got to choose the flow because she didn't care about it. See, if she doesn't care, so the less she cares about, the better for you in this case. So I got to at least pick the flow and the function of the rules. But then when it came to actually things in that's when the contention started happening. So I came up with this thing in my mind. I said, okay, how about this? There's 100 different colors you can pick from. And I'm just using colors. When people get argued for the color of the carpet, it's true. But let's say there's 100 different options that you can pick for the color of the carpet, right? I just told myself, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to get caught up on the first 100. I'm going to let her work it out and get it down to the last 4 because she always gave me the last 4. So she picked out of 100, she picked the 4 top ones that she liked, but she couldn't make that final decision. And then she said, hey, Kabeer, here's the 4. Can you make a decision? And so I limit my decision to her 4. So I said this one. And guess what? I could have said any, mini, mighty, mo. I could have done that. And it would have been a good decision. Why would it have been a good decision, Deacon?
Because she's the one who gave you the options.
She gave me the options. So I couldn't go wrong. So I just limited myself to her deal. That's how I'll give you another example. I pick a church. When I would pick a church, I say A, B, and C. Okay, I like A because A seems more biblical. You know me, obviously being the truth, I'm more biblical. B, C, you know, I don't even know how I got A into there, but somehow I had an option to just look at A. But then B comes up, and then you know it's B and C. That's more feelings and emotions and whatever. And then you got your wife. She's, I feel like I'm not really getting anything out of this. And so in my mind, I didn't realize, because I was told in Christianity, it's not my job to teach my woman the word. Let the pastor do that, or let her figure it out. You focus on you and she'll focus on her. So I felt that I had to pick a church that she can learn from, not ever thinking she needs to learn from me. I'm her teacher. I'm supposed to teach. If she wants to learn anything, she should be learning from me. Go to Colossians real quick. I'm just using an example. Is it Colossians? No, 1 Corinthians 14, verse 33. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 33. So I did not know this. I did not know that I'm the one she's supposed to learn from. But when I got into Christianity, the very first thing it told me, that, and what they were addressing was control. Don't control your wife, because controlling your wife is domestic abuse. Now, I didn't know it was domestic abuse. No one told me that. You could just tell that having too much control was not a good thing. I even heard pastors saying that men are not ready to have that type of control, because historically speaking, men are abusive. Anyway, so read.
For Yah is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints.
And that's why you know Christianity is not of Yah, because when you look at Christianity, it's chaotic. There's confusion. And that's how it explained why I experienced so much confusion dealing with the Christian church. There's too much. But since I've been on Straightway Choose Ministry with Pastor Dow, there's so much peace. Can you relate to that, Deacon? Or is it just me?
Oh, yeah. That's a comment.
And now I understand why there's peace, because there's order. We got the law that guides us into all truth. We got the law that's a lamp unto our feet. We got the Holy Spirit that's guiding us to all truth. Read.
Let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home.
At home. See, the woman, in Christianity, that's a no. No, don't put that on the man. That's too much power for the man. I know I've read this, but how come it never stood out? Because they did not promote this. They did not promote that the woman should learn from her husband. That was a no. I'm telling you, I heard that directly. It wasn't insinuated. I was told, don't you focus on your relationship with God and let her focus on her. Matter of fact, we have TD Jakes saying that. Remember, I think I did a video showing where TD Jakes said that.
Yeah. It's not your job.
Not your job.
Oh.
Yeah. And so you think like, okay, the pastor says not your job. Then obviously I want to be an obedient, a member of the church. If this is what they say, okay, then she can go watch her Joel Osteen and watch what, Martha Stewart, not Martha Stewart. Who's the one that looked like the Joker? Who's that girl that looked like
Joyce Meyer?
Joyce Myers. She looked like the Joker. I'm not.
Yeah, she's a joke.
Yeah, she is a joke. But anyway, and that's what I thought. And so I did my own study. So I was growing, but she wasn't growing. And I couldn't pour into her, but for sure I was pouring into my children, because I knew that, okay, clearly they can't teach themselves. That's my job. That's my job, right? And so no one messed with me with that. But when it came to her, but the teacher is the frontline teachers. The woman is the frontline teacher. Read. And if they learn, is that it?
For it is a shame for a woman to speak in the church.
See, this is a shame. See, this woman that sent this email is shameful, because what she did is not even valid. I can't take the testimony of just one woman to the woman. Where's the second witness? The second witness is going to be her husband. And then in this case, you say there's other women involved. So then bring them. What are they saying? So I'm doing the video because of this. So, hey, sue me if you say this is abusive, but I think that you are in the situation you're in because you are rebellious and you're practicing witchcraft. This is very shameful what you've done. So if you want to learn anything, I hope you see this video. And whoever wrote this, I won't say their name, but whoever wrote this is very shameful. And there's a good chance you're doing the abuse. You're the problem.
Yeah, there's a lot of projection in that letter.
Yeah, you project, everything comes in, and you're telling what everybody's telling you, and you're going to the Muslims marriage counseling, and they're telling you the same thing. If you really are not unhappy, then do what it says in 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Leave. But don't marry. Just leave or be reconciled back to your husband. But sitting here doing this is not you're not operating in faith. You're not trusting the Most High Yah. You're not acting like the daughter of Sarah. Is that it?
That's it. Yep.
All right. So, but that's how it is. So when I picked the church, A, B, and C, it ended up going off of what she felt. She said, "Oh," she would say, "Good job, Kabeer. Good job. I can understand this pastor." And it just happened to be a church that was not biblical. It was more feelings, very charismatic, I guess. After being with Straightway, I don't know how to describe stuff anymore in my past. But you would say the church was more, because the other church I was interested in was more biblically sound, I thought. And I can't say that anymore.
Hyper charismatic.
Yeah. But then you go to this church, it was really moving in the spirit, speaking in tongues, and every week somebody had a word from the Most High Yah.
Lights and
from God, and it'd be women talking, it'd be everybody talking. God said, and I always knew it. This is how you knew it was so fake. Now that I think about it, it was always about love and this. And then I remember having something that I felt that the Spirit wanted me to say, but being in this church for 2 or 3 years, I didn't say it. Because it was so counterculture to the church. And it was a rebuke. It was a rebuke on things that I knew that the pastor didn't stand for, that the church didn't stand for. And I held back. Because at that time I didn't really, I'm thinking like, maybe it's me, because, I was already being oppressed, saying that, well, you just going back to your legalistic ways, your Muslim ways. And so I held back. I remember, I don't know, maybe I just feel like I needed to say something. I'm talking about for the whole assembly. It was that moment. And I didn't say nothing because it didn't fit. It would have been it would have gone against the pastor. It would have gone against the elders. It was literally going to go against everything. It would be like, they may have escorted me out. And at that time, I'm thinking, yeah. So I doubted. I doubted, like, is this me? Is this Yah? Like, but then now that the way I think now concretely, because they have you all messed up thinking abstractly, I should have known, why was Satan put this thought in my mind to say this to the congregation? This need to be said. And I seen a woman who actually spoke truth. An older woman. Her husband was the founder of that church, Living Hope Church. And before she died, she went up to the music pastor, the pastor of the worship. He's a pastor. I don't know how that is, but anyway, worship leader. He was the worship leader. And she went up there and spoke and says, "Your service is no longer needed." And she told this man, because all the elders, for some reason, this was towards the end when I finally left the church, all the elders left, everybody left. And it was right towards the end. And she got the mic. Somebody actually walked her up. She was walking, very old lady. And this is the founder. Her husband was the founder of this church. He's passed away. And she comes up and says, "Your service is no longer needed." The pastor, the worship leader, dropped the mic and walked off the stage like a big baby. And I know why, because the woman he's with, he got her through committing adultery. Literally, they had an affair. They ended up marrying each other. And then the child they had out of that ended up being very deformed in a wheelchair, grew with some type of disease. And people knew this. And she came up and says, your service is no longer needed. And she turned around to the congregation and started prophesying the word to the people. And this is the wife of the founder of that church. So she had a lot of respect. And she rebuked. I remember being in the back. I was in the back pissed off about this whole thing with me and my wife and head coverings and things of that nature. I mean, in some other room. And because none of the leaders was there to stop it or turn off the mic, she sat there and said what she needed to say. And eventually they got her out and they walked her out. The very next week they came in there and they said, hey, we affirm our worship leader, pastor. We affirm him. And then they had to kind of walk a fine line and say that basically she was senile. That's what they're really proud of, that she's senile, she's getting old. And so somehow it's kind of like they didn't want to like destroy her because of her standing in the church. And then the guy, they said, we affirm him. And everybody, I said, wow. So they came in and reinstated this guy that was told that his service no longer needed. But when it came to me and my family, I said, who's there to reinstate me? Because you guys came in here and interfered in my situation. And no one came in and reinstated me. Say, guys, we affirm Kabeer. He's the father of this house. He's the head of this house. We affirm and we support him. Anyway, I just want to share that. But that woman did what she said. My spirit confirmed what she said. I just didn't know at the time. I just wasn't strong enough. I just didn't know. I'm just like, what's going on? But I had it in my mouth and I kept it back because it would have been strange at that church. It would have been very, not strange that straight way, but it would have been very strange. Now I know why it would be strange. But anyway, I just want to share that. But women, so when you look at Christianity, how they deal with women is the head. That's why you can tell Christianity is a matriarch. Everything is revolved around the woman. When you come into the truth, like a Straightway Truth Women's Ministry, because I can't speak that for all the other Hebrew Israelites, because some of the places we see it look like Christianity and it looked like Hebrew, but they're really acting like Christians. But a Straightway Truth Ministry is a patriarch. Everything revolves around the man, as it should be. So anyway, just what'd you say?
No, I'm saying, yep.
So let me just go through some of these verses, go through all these proverbs that we have. And then we're going to show this video and see if we have time to look at maybe 1 or 2 videos. I know let's go to these videos. Okay, so read Proverbs 31:3. Read.
Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings.
See, you don't hear warnings about that for men, for women about the husbands. Read next one.
A foolish son is the calamity of his father, and the contentions of a wife are a continual dropping.
That's what it's like in Christianity for me. A contention, and you can have that anywhere. I'm not going to say Christianity. You can be in Straightway. You can be an Israelite and experience this stuff. Unfortunately, that happens, and that's why a man will have to get to a point and give his woman a bill of divorce. Mm-hmm. Because she just nagging, and the house should be a place of peace for that man, not for a place where you're like, I got to go home. I got to go deal with that woman. Mm-hmm. Read the next one.
It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and angry woman.
See, when you hear women, in the modern time that we in, oh yeah, you can't trust guys. Guys are this and guys are this and they're dogs and this. You hear all this stuff bad about men, but you don't see that in the Bible. Well, men are this and men are that, men are that. You don't hear that. This is the type of stuff you hear. And I'm going to show you. Is there more or is that it?
There's more.
I mean, not one. We got several witnesses. Maybe we can go to a different book. I can show you other books, but I just wanted to show you to get to the point. Read.
It is better to dwell in the corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house.
And I lived in a white house. And I'm telling you, if I get next time, well, I don't need it next time because there won't be a next time. But if I knew what I knew about this, I would have built a stairs going to the rooftops. So I have a place to go. Read.
A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is as rottenness in his bone.
You see, that's what this woman is doing. This is the kind of woman that will rotten your bone because she's doing things that are shameful. That's shameful. I hope you hear me. The one that wrote this, you know who wrote this. You know who sent this long email that's practicing polygyny. You know. This is shameful. Read.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it for this. I
So-
think that's
Okay.
yeah, that was it.
Okay. So, guys, I want to show you something here because so I did a lot of marriage counseling. I told you in Christianity, and some things I got right, but a lot of times when I look back on it, it was wrong because the basis was the woman was the victim, the guy was the bad guy. Now, I've experienced maybe 3 times here, just being in the truth, that I had to deal with a husband and wife situation. And I would say out of the 3, 2 of them, the women was at fault. One of them, the woman was at fault, but the man wasn't doing his part, but it was mostly the woman still. So I would say the woman was at fault and the man was more reactive. All the men were reactive in the situation, but it came from the woman. And you would think like, wait a minute, why are the women? Because my focus changed. It went from the woman's emotions and feelings to who's the head. The head is the man. His laws reigns. Whatever he says, that's what's right. So once I changed the focus from the woman's emotions, feelings, and opinions to the man's will and his desire and his commandments, that's where everything started changing. So I had a situation where a man slaps his woman, and I get a call, and he slaps his wife. I'm talking to the guy. I'm like, bro, and naturally that Christian thing want to come out like, why'd you slap your? You can't do that. Why'd you slap her? Because she slapped me. I said, okay. I can't fault you on that. I see the rationale there. Okay. I said, okay, bro, we're not in our land. So now I'm here telling you we're not in our land. You got to be wise, man. And then I said, let me talk to your wife. I talked to her. And here's another thing you notice. In Christianity, the women want counseling. They want help. But when it comes to here, you don't see women. When they're in the wrong, they don't want to get help. They avoid it. I said, this is interesting. So she didn't want, I don't want to talk to you. Why are you telling everybody? See, she didn't want to talk to me because she was more embarrassed. I was like, wow, that was the first time I experienced this. So I asked her, I said, why did you slap him? Well, he broke my finger. I said, okay. He broke your finger. Why? Because he tried to take the keys out of my hand. See, that's the thing we talk about, controlling the keys, the key to the car. I said, okay, well, why does your master have to try to snatch the keys out of your hands? All he has to do is command you, and you should have given to him. Yes, master, just like Sarah. Say you're my sister. Okay, yes, master. That's my brother. So why is he have to snatch the keys out of your hands when all he has to do is say, woman, give me those keys. Yes, master. So I said, your fingers deserve to be broken. And that's how I called it. I said, now I told this one, you call elder and you call whatever. I gave him instruction what to do, but I told her, you're the wrong. Your master should not have to snatch the keys out of your hands. All he had to do is command it, but he asked you to do it and you wouldn't give it to him. So then he had to go snatch it from you. Then she comes back a week later. I'm not making this thing up. Deacon knows the story. She comes back a week or 2 weeks later, comes back and says, I have an apology. I said, what's the apology? I just wanted to let you know that when I told you that my husband broke my finger, I lied. I said, okay, well, I appreciate you being honest. I forgive you. But you see what she did? See, I was supposed to hear, he broke my finger. And then I was supposed to go into mode, super, like, be Superman and save her from her abusive husband. Because she led with, he broke my finger. Does this make sense? Am I losing you guys? Is this making sense, Deacon?
You're right on it, Elder.
Give me an amen. Give me some reaction. I need to, I don't know, like I'm here. So this is what I was hearing. Okay, that was another story. This is in the truth now, guys. And this is when my focus changed. In Christianity, it was all over the place because, like I said, it was more abstract. Another situation came in. A woman calls me, or I don't know if she called me or left a message or whatever, but she somehow got word to me and said that my husband is just, she sent me a recording of her husband yelling. just getting upset. And I didn't even really listen to the recording. I'm thinking like, wait a minute. Why are you sending me a recording of your husband yelling at you, saying, I love this ministry, but my husband, he's so strong, he can walk through walls and blah, blah, whatever. And, he's a
What
man.
it's really like, yeah.
Yeah, he's a man, you're a woman, he's big, you're small. I get it, right? And so I'm thinking like, whoa, and she's coming to me for help. My husband, listen. And it sounded like, whoa. And I'm thinking like, this little girl's listening to this man. So the natural, and this one happened actually before the one I just told you. This happened, and I remember praying to Yah, say, Yah, how did people get so deceived by my ex-wife? I'm just telling you guys what I was thinking. How? And then all of a sudden I get this call that night. And I remember naturally wanting to protect a woman from her husband. But then I've already gone through my own personal experience, seeing what it's like to be on this side now, on the other side. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I said, let me sleep on this one, because it was very compelling. And I really wanted to, in my instinct, wanted to protect the woman. And so the next morning comes around, I called the husband. I didn't even talk. I didn't respond to it. Was an email. I didn't respond to her email or text, whatever it wasn't talking. She emailed me or texted me. I did not respond. I made a beeline the next morning, as early as morning, got up and called her husband and reported to her that your wife sent me a recording of you guys fighting last night. And he kind of said, "Oh, good, great. I recorded it too." I said, "Okay, just want to let you know, can you just make sure you call Pastor?" And boom, and they did that. And guess what? They're together to this day. And I was thinking, imagine I would have made the Christian mistake, not using the word, and went and tried to protect that woman and usurp that man's authority. That family would have been broken up. But because I stuck to the word, and most people say, Kabeer, that was a man, that woman, that could have been a life and death situation. The way she set it up, that was a life and death situation. And I stuck with the word. I stuck with the word. And then she came back. I don't know how this goes. She came back 2 weeks later and says, I have a confession. I said, I just want to apologize. I'm sorry. That was wrong for me to put you in the middle of that and doing all that stuff. I said, sister, I forgive you. No problem. Now, the first story I told you, they're not together anymore. This one, they're still together, and they have a strong relationship. So why am I sharing this with you guys? I'm sharing, when you stick with the book is a lamp unto thy feet. When you can't see and you don't have it, and you do your due diligence, and you make an inquisition of what's really going on, and you do things according to the Bible, you're going to get to the right answer. Just like Solomon, when they say, well, this is my baby. No, this is my baby. He says, okay, bring me a sword. Bring me a sword, cut the baby in half. She can have it. And I was like, no. Let her have it. Let her have the baby. No, cut it up. And then Solomon knew that, hey, that's the mother right there. Because she wanted to protect the baby. They don't say cut it up. He said, that's the baby. And he was able to judge righteously. And I pray for that. I pray, Yah, help me to judge righteously. Help me to see things the way you see it. Let me hear things the way you hear it. Because there's things I don't see. There's things but Yah sees the whole picture. And when you know his word and you see how people are coming at you, I already knew this is off. This is wrong. This was wrong off. It was already wrong for her to even send this communication to me. It was something like this. So I just want to share that. And there's more. There was even, but that's good enough. But I just wanted to show you how the word works. I was right on all three of them. Because of the word and the Holy Spirit. So now I want to show you guys the type of situations and how it sounds like when you hear these women playing victim. So we're going to show you a video here of, I'll let you, Deacon, introduce the video.
You want me to do the prank first?
Oh, show the prank. Okay. No. We may have to do a
me.
part, we may have to do a part 2, man.
You want me to do the other one then?
Yeah, let me do it because we're talking about this. Let's do because then I want to show we will do that for next week. Let's do these two. So this is a woman named I may mess up her name. Rihanna. Rihanna.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, Rihanna. I think she's a musician. I know she is, but
she is a musician.
Huh? What is she?
She is a musician.
She is a musician. She's a musician. I don't know how long ago this happened, but I'm gonna let the tape roll. But I guess she had she was in a relationship with a guy named Chris Brown, who also is a musician, and they were together at a young age. And when it first came out long ago, this is what the people heard. And so I'm gonna let this play, and I will interfere a little bit, but let's let that play. Oprah. Ooh, Oprah.
In 2009, just days after Rihanna and her then boyfriend, pop star Chris Brown, were photographed seated next to each other smiling. This image was leaked to the public.
See, stop. Oh, I wish you could pause it right there, but can you go back? You see that? See, this is the type of stuff we look at. See, that right there is a shock value. You see it like, wow, dang. And automatically, you just want to go in and say, what? That dude did what? No, right? Just boom. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter what she did. We don't even think about what she did. It's all of a sudden, it just boom, we just go into protection mode. And then we go into all our programming that men are abusers. And now you have a visual here. Okay, play.
In the early morning hours of February 8, 2009, Chris Brown and Rihanna left Clive Davis's annual pre-Grammy party. According to police reports, while driving home, the two got into a heated argument, which escalated into a vicious and violent attack. Chris Brown was
So there's a violent attack, but we don't. It's very abstract right now, right? And we see there's a victim and we see the perpetrator. A violent attack. Is it both ways? Is it one way? What is it? Okay, go.
Arrested for assault and pled guilty. He would later be sentenced to 180 days of community service and 5 years probation. As the controversy swirled around them, it seemed like everybody had an opinion.
Chris Brown makes me angry.
To be able to experience this in the media, that alone it's horrible.
I was thinking maybe.
So everybody has an opinion. Everybody's coming here and automatically Chris Brown is the bad guy. She's the victim. Everybody's heart is going out to Rihanna. Help me out, brother. Help me out with these people. Rihanna. And so now Oprah Winfrey wants to interview her. And I want you guys to pay attention, guys. Please open your ears. Listen to Rihanna, listen to her testimony. I'm just going to tell you to help you guys out, but I want you to listen to how vague. And it reminded me, it's an eerie feeling when it kind of brought back, like, I don't know, I have what they call it? No, I won't say STD.
PTSD.
PTSD. Yeah, post-traumatic stress.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, because I remember asking people, what did my wife say? This is all I have, guys. I'm just going off this. And all she says, you don't understand. You don't know the man. You just see the nice man. You don't see the other man that I see. You don't understand. That was pretty much, you don't understand. And that was enough to destroy my good name in this community, in Green Bay community, Wisconsin community. Literally, in the NFL, everything, destroyed that name like that, just based off of you don't understand. And I did not put not even one finger on this woman. Not one. And like this, I didn't even pop her with a finger. I may have grabbed her, obviously she's my one, but I've never popped her. And I was literally persecuted in the media. The Straightway Truth Ministry. I mean, that was going to happen anyway, but I'm just letting you know. So let's listen to her testimony.
Aren't aware of the velocity of feelings that people had when he was arrested in 2009. I think it's kind of like this. The reason why a lot of women choose not to let their family and friends know if they're in an abusive relationship, because once you tell your mother, once you tell your friend, that's all they remember.
Yes.
So I think that when the world saw that in 2009, that's what stuck with so many people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But nobody could feel that more than me. I was hurt the most. Nobody felt what I felt. Like, so it was.
You were hurt the most because it happened?
It happened. It happened to me.
Right after that, okay. You're the only one hurting. I'm listening, right? I'm listening. I said, okay, why do you the one that hurt the most? The most. Okay, let's listen. Let's play it.
And it happened to me in front of the world. It was embarrassing, it was humiliating, it was hurtful. You know, it's not easy.
So stop. So I'm listening to her. This hurt her because this became a public thing. So it sounds like Chris beat her so bad, and he wanted to just publicly humiliate her for the whole world to see. He just lost his ever-living mind, left the party, and just decided to beat the shit out of this woman, just so that the world, for no reason, just. She's a beautiful woman. She has a beautiful voice, I think, because she's an artist. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm assuming she got something that people are paying for. But whatever the case is, just for no reason at all. Just he decided to just beat the shit out of you. Okay. I mean, that's all we hear. I mean, you got this guy, he's pleading guilty, so it's got to be true. He recognized he just went crazy. Then they put this into our minds that men abuse. Look at it, no matter, even if you have millions of dollars driving a Lamborghini, this is men. Men are the abuser, women are the victim. And they're always going to show stories like this. They're always going to show stories so they can continue this propaganda, continue to show us that men are the abuser. And it's so rare, actually. It's more rare than it is the other way around. But no one ever talks about the woman. But let's keep playing. I want you to hear her testimony. Let's see how concrete her testimony is of how bad it. And it sounds like it's just a whole bunch of feelings and emotions. But read, let me play.
Lost my best friend. Like everything I knew, switched in a night, and I couldn't control that. So I had to deal with that, and that's not easy for me to understand.
She's the only one that has to deal with this. So Chris Brown don't have to deal with this. You're the only one that have to deal with this stuff. You're the one that hurt the most. Okay. Let's go.
Interpret. And it's not easy to interpret on camera. Not with the world watching. So it was hard for me to even pay attention to my mind and figuring things out, because now it became a circus. And I felt protective. Like, I felt like the only person they hate right now is him. It was a weird, confusing space to be in. Because as angry as I was, as angry and hurt and betrayed, I just felt like he made that mistake because he needed help. And like, who's gonna help?
Yes, I'm telling you. I'm just telling you guys off the bat.
Hey, Elder,
this reminds me of Eileen's book.
Hey, no, you know what it reminds me of?
What?
Pray for Kabeer.
Yes. So you can see the witchcraft in this.
Yeah.
So she tells you how bad she does a great sell job on how bad and how hurt she was and how she went through. But through it all, I forgive him. I hurt for him. I hurt. And now she seemed like a hero, like, wow.
What a woman.
Strength. She took one heck of a beating, and through it all, she still loves him. And through it all, she still wants the best for this guy. She can't be a bad woman. What kind of monster is Chris Brown for doing this to such a great woman? This is what's happening. If this is not argument, and those are some, I'm telling you, if those are not, bro, I'm sorry now. I see tears like that. Now I see why they call them crocodile tears. I mean, if this is not some major acting going on, I mean, right now she's probably preparing for an Emmy to be in a movie or something. Sell to us that you got beat up for no reason. Sell it to us. And everybody fell for it. Is that what you heard too?
Oh.
That she's strong, she's forgiving, and he's all the problem. Nope, nothing she added to it. Keep playing it.
Him. Nobody's gonna say he needs help. Everybody's gonna say he's a monster without looking at the source. And I was more concerned about him.
That is really powerful.
See? That's what she wanted. That's the response. That is powerful. You went through all that, and you still have a love for the
So
man.
strong.
Oh my goodness, guys, are you guys seeing this bullshit? Okay, I know you guys may think I'm being insensitive. See, I'm just using the word. I'm listening. I'm looking at it. Now, obviously, because of time, we can look back and see how great. But a lot of guys, I don't know how old a lot of you guys, but a lot of people during this time believed that Chris Brown was, he was a monster. No, you did not even want to be associated with him. I don't even have social media at the time, but you didn't even want to because they had CDs back then. You wouldn't even want to like any of his posts. You would be probably canceled back then. But cancel culture wasn't as strong back then. Maybe they were. It's just different.
It was different, yeah.
It was a different type of cancel.
They weren't buying the CDs. His career started going down, yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody was going up to the concert. He had to,
he was blackballed.
Yeah.
Play.
That's really powerful. That in that moment, I would have never thought that. You just shocked me. Because in that moment, I would have never thought.
You and me both, Oprah. We both shocked. I'm just shocked.
He's just laughing.
She said, you just shocked me. I'm like, and she's like, ha, 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 ha. I got all these people fooled. Man. Yeah, I'm shocked too. Is that it?
I think
Thinking about is protecting him.
That's it.
Bro. So guys, this is the type of stuff you see. Now, this is an extreme. This is media, but I'm just trying to show you women know how to play the victim. It's acceptable for women to be victims, but from my experience, I've seen men being more the victim than the women are. And they just not allowed to express it. Matter of fact, for us men to be victims, it's a sign of weakness. It's a sign of weakness. What do people answer? Is that 90 to 10? Where is that?
It's a little bit up here.
I just want to see what people
put it on the screen. You can see the screen.
How many people? What was the percentage? 95 to 5. 95 to 5. This is at 90, and I say 90 to 10 to be gracious. I'm probably close to 90. Shit, 95. Yep, my experience growing up: 5 women, 95 men. Okay. There's a woman that says she experienced mostly men. Okay, that's why I want to know. I just want to know because I'm just going off of my little 46 years. What do I know? I've been around the world, experienced a lot of people, Been the same woman for 23 years only because she gets her way more than 50% of the time, giving her what she wants. I wasn't under Yah's rule, and it wasn't it wasn't Yah's rule, it was the woman's. I had to grow up mentally. See? Who's this? Antonio Green. Okay. So anyway, so now I want you guys to hear this, and then what I'm going to do, guys, and we're going to have a part 2 to this, but I want you to hear this while we're in it because we got some more stuff I want to show you, but I want you guys to see now the man's version. Now, when did his come out, Deacon? When did his testimony come out?
I think the incident happened about 13 years ago, and then this documentary from Chris Brown came out last year.
Last year?
Yep.
So that means it wasn't until last year it finally came out. So this whole time, all we have had is Rihanna's story. And now 13 years later, now it's been 40, but we're about to hear now Chris Brown's testimony. And I want you to hear his testimony. You saw her testimony. Did you think her testimony was there any detail to her testimony? Was there anything that you can?
No, she just talked about it happened to me and it hurt, and I hurt the most.
Feelings you don't understand. It hurt the most.
Hard for me to process.
Praying for him. It's hard for me to process. I'm just.
But I want. He needs help.
He needs help. Pray for him.
Pray for.
Bro, you can put anybody's. You can put my face on there, right? I'm just telling you. This is what it sounds like. I mean, did anybody? I'm just listening. I said, okay. So now let me hear this man's testimony, because now we have two witnesses. Let's hear the cross examination. Chris Brown, explain to us what happened.
To see Rihanna and Chris when they first started dating, it was magical, you know? And those two, they were kind of inseparable, you know? You would hear about them being in the studio, you would hear, you know, they're coming into the club together, and it was just an energy.
At that time in our career, being that young, being naive, gullible, but also just happy, just wanting to be everywhere. I mean, it was no other feeling like it. But with her, with Rhea, it was just like our power that we had at that age. It was just, it's dangerous. Throws fakes like he throws them.
Sorry about that.
What happened?
She had asked me like, right when we first.
Hold on, this thing is tripping here.
Uh-oh. So he's telling his testimony, his side of the story.
And I have 100,000.
What's going on?
It's dangerous, man.
Okay,
like
here
you
we
could go anywhere. Like we couldn't go to a hotel, and I have 100,000 fans outside waiting. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't go to any restaurant and just eat. Like real life rock stars at 16 and 17 years old. Man,
wow.
That's dangerous because you could do whatever you want. I just think we were like the perfect, like, and bad combination. Like it was just good and bad together. It just, I want to.
So they clearly loved each other. They clearly loved each other. He was in love. They were young, man. I didn't even know. So that's 16. So he probably couldn't even process all that stuff himself. Wow.
Well, the incident happened when he was 18 or 19.
18. Okay, but he's still young. I mean, that's young.
Oh yeah, that's very young.
So this is like he's not even an adult.
They were both. They started early in their careers, very early. They were child.
But I'm saying, but they're already acting like husband and wife or whatever, you know. And my goodness, okay, keep playing.
A year and a half into the relationship with Rihanna, I really was serious about it. Like, you know, I was always goofy about everything else, being a young kid, but the maturity level I had and my beliefs of what I wanted with my girlfriend, you know what? I want to marry you, but I want, before, you know, we go any further, I just want to be able to be honest and be completely real with you about everything you've ever had a question about or a doubt about. Or she had asked me, like, right when we first started dating, hey, you ever mess with this person? And this person, she worked for me at the time. And I said, nah, man, you know what it is. Just, you know, I brushed it to the side. One, I didn't want her knowing my business. Two, I just didn't know who she would tell if I would tell her what I'm doing.
So now he feels like he has to answer to her. You know, she determined if he can have women, friend, whatever, you know. But we know that polygyny would not have worked for Chris Brown back in those days. So
yeah, exactly.
So, but anyway, keep playing.
You know what I'm saying? So around like the 8th month or maybe like a little bit after that VMA performance, I just broke it to her. I said, hey, I want to marry you, but I want to be real with you. I want to be honest with you and tell you, you know, everything. This is what it is. Before we were together, me and this other girl did have sex. My trust totally was lost with her. You know what I'm saying? She hated me. Like, after that, I tried everything. Like,
so you know what he did? You know what he did? He gave his strength over to the woman.
That which destroyeth king.
Yeah, that's it. And now that you gave your strength to her and you submitting to this woman, now it's hell's gonna break loose. Now you're gonna everything you've worked for, your kingdom is going to be destroyed by this one woman.
Is it in Sirach where it says, "Don't teach your wife an evil thing about you"?
Yeah. And now we're gonna watch what this woman is. I mean, let's watch. But it's so amazing how these small women. I mean, man, there's something in Sirach. I'm gonna talk about it next week. But something in Sirach that talks about. But out of all these things, the most dangerous thing is a woman.
Yeah.
And
there's actually instructions that do not spend. There's actually instructions in Sirach that says don't spend too much time with the woman that sings.
Yeah. See, there you have it right there. Yeah. Keep playing.
Didn't care. Like, she just didn't trust me after that. From there, it just went downhill because, you know, it would be fights, it would be verbal fights, physical fights as well, mutual sides, and this is the first time I get to say anything. And like
The
I said,
first
I still
time
love
in 13 years he get to say something. So that means the smear campaign has already gone through 500 times over, and now he gets to come and tell his story. No one is thinking about it. No one cares. The damage is done. No one cares. Okay, great job, Chris Rock. We appreciate it, but the damage is done. You're always gonna be seen as a monster. It doesn't matter. And this what goes on all the time. These are public people, and so we can put it out here for you guys to see. But this goes on all the time in the private, just in people's community, where men lose a lot of things. Men lose their business, lose their money, lose their children off of a lie of a woman playing the victim. So I would say women do more of the abusing, but that's not talked about. Where's the counseling for men where can men go get counseling when they're being abused by their women? But let's listen. I want you guys to listen to the play.
Rihanna, but I'm just gonna be honest. We would fight each other. She would hit me, I would hit her. But it never was okay. It was always a point to where we talk about it like, yo, what the fuck are we doing? Like, I don't like that. I don't like you slapping me. If I go on stage, I got a scratch on my face, and I gotta explain it like, oh, no, I fell, or if you got a scar or whatever, or a bruise, you gotta put makeup on it. I feel like shit. I'm not ever trying to put my hands on any female. Like me, I felt like a fucking monster.
So look at this. So
7 years ago,
he was concerned, like going on stage, having stuff on his face. So it sounded like they were both doing it, right? So it was not something that it was just one-sided. But when you hear Renaya, one thing I like about Chris, it seems like he tells both sides of the story. I'm getting more of the story from him than I did from her.
Yeah, he's not leaving himself out. He's
say, hey, bro, we both was doing it.
Yeah.
She hit me out here. I'm like, what are we doing?
So it wasn't a one-time incident. He just flipped one day.
No.
That she made it seem. She made it seem like he just flipped.
And she never admitted that she did it too. She just plays the victim, is deep-rooted. We got to pray for him or whatever. Anyway, play.
I was about 17, 18. You know, the whole Rihanna incident happened. And, you know, a lot of that changed my life.
And that night at that Clive Davis party, that I made sure the person that I was involved with before, I said, hey, if you can't come around to these places, and the person comes right to the table, say, hey, what's up, y'all? And I already know it's an issue, so I say, hey, cool, and I keep it, and they keep it moving and leave. I look over at Rihanna, and she's bawling, she's just crying. In the middle of the ceremony about to start, she's just crying, and I'm like, yo, please, babe, don't do this. Like, don't do this in here. Like I didn't know, I promise, I swear to God, I didn't know. So she got over it, she started drinking a little bit, we both were drinking a little bit. We was tipsy, laughing, joking, and then we left.
And Juan, just a few hours ago, we saw Chris Brown drive off. According to sources, the alleged fight broke out inside a Lamborghini that was located at Hancock Park.
As you know, young relationships, any relationship is based on trust, but because I told her that, she didn't trust me with anything. So I would give her the option of, oh, you can look at my phone. So I gave her the phone.
Stop. So see, this man, this is why you need to live with women according to knowledge. He's thinking like a man. He's thinking like, hey, let me be upfront because this is what I'm doing. And nothing to hide, just to let you know, hey, full disclosure, hey, boom. But you tell this to a woman, she's not going to respond like a man. She is going to react like a woman that is scorned. And it changed his life. This guy was a famous singer and very up and coming. This messed up his career. Now he ended up bouncing back, but this was serious, man. That's why you gotta be very careful how you deal with these women. Women are the abuser. If I can change the narrative, women do more of the abusing than men do. And so you go in there thinking that, and then to the point where even men start learning to think it's my fault. That's why he thought he was guilty, because he's already been trained. He was born after 1970. So he's already thinking he's at fault. He went to the point he just pleaded guilty. Didn't even try to fight it. And this is the real story. Play it.
She looks at the phone, there's a message, and it says, kill the Grammys, do your thing. And I didn't read the rest of the message, I didn't open it. So she opened the message, and the rest of the message said, I'll see you at the cloud party. So off top, she thought I was lying. She starts going off, she throws the phone, I hate you, whatever, whatever. Starts hitting me, we're in a little Lamborghini. You know, she's fighting me, and I'm like, look, I'm telling you the truth, I swear to God. You know, I'm telling you the truth, stop it. So then she hits me a couple more times, and I just kind of it doesn't go from translation to, let's sit down, I'm telling you the truth. It goes to, now I'm finna be mean and be evil, arguing. So then, like I remember she tried to kick me. It's like just her just being upset. But then I really hit her, like I with a closed fist, like I punched her.
So now stop. The first, okay, so we hear him when he finally hits her. Did he hit her for no reason? No. He's in a Lamborghini. And she's trying to kick him while he's driving.
Not trying, she's kicking him.
But
not trying, kicking him.
No, yeah, kicking him.
Yeah.
And to the point where now he has to defend himself and he clocks her. He hits her. He admits it. But we don't hear from Renaya. I don't know how to say her name. What's it? Rihanna?
Rihanna.
Okay. Oh, Brianna?
No, Rihanna.
Oh, Rihanna. I'm going to Brianna. I know Brianna. Okay, I should say Bree. And then I can
without the B.
Rihanna. Okay, guys. But look at she never one time admit that she did anything wrong. You would think she just got her head just
out of nowhere. He just lost it.
You kicked him. Guys, I'm not saying that, like what his name said. He said, I'm not saying
you do it, but
you
can't tell me there's no reason.
But there's a reason. He's being kicked while he's driving. If somebody's kicking me, bro, we are going to be fighting.
Yeah.
You can't. What do you mean? You
cause an accident.
Are you out of your mind? I'm driving, and I'm driving this. It doesn't matter if the car is expensive, but this is my life, and you're kicking me?
Yeah, but if they're driving, there's probably other vehicles on the road, and you can cause somebody else to.
This is crazy.
Over a text message.
Okay, let's keep playing.
And it busted her lip. And when I saw it, I was in shock. I was like, fuck, why the hell did I hit her? Like, so from there, she's just spit in my face. Like,
yeah, okay, stop. Like, okay, he's thinking like, dang. Oh. And then she spits in his face. Okay, let's see what he did after the spit in the face.
Like, yo, so it enraged me even more. Like, it's a real on fight in a car. We driving in the street. So I'm like, yo, man, we tripping. Like, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing? She's trying to grab for my phone, and I'm not giving her my phone to throw it out of the window. So she grabs my nuts.
Oh my goodness! Stop, bro. What is a man? Okay, this is the part I'm trying to get. Dick, if somebody spit in your face, what would you do?
Oh man, I would definitely react. I don't know if I'd respond.
Yeah, but would something be happening? I mean, you kick him, you spit on him, but everything that he's doing is being reactive. He's reacting, but she's the initiator. But no one ever says that she initiated. I want to ask questions. Why the hell did he beat the shit out of you? What did you do? What do you mean? What did I got my face? I know, but no man just beating the shit out of you for no reason. You did something. See, she didn't mention I kicked him, I spit on him, and then I grabbed his balls, his jewels. What? Let somebody grab you. I mean, bro, that thing hurts. What are you supposed to do? Well, you're a girl. I can't hit you. I'm just gonna sit there and let you just. Oh my goodness! Did you? I didn't hear all this. Did anybody hear about this? That you guys balls?
No. And they're not even talking about it now. I think it was a year ago that they released, and they're not making big waves on it either.
Anyway, play.
To do that, I bite her arm, I think.
So now he's wrong for biting her. So I just want to get this right. I'm sorry, guys. I just want to get this right. She grabs his balls. She's grabbing his. I mean, not just. She's grabbing to crush it, to hurt him. Is he wrong for biting her? I just want to. When does it come to a point that a man can defend himself from a crazy ass woman who's doing these stuff? She's kicking.
Hey, equal rights. Equal rights.
That's what I'm saying.
If you're gonna fight, we're gonna fight. If you're gonna hit me, I'm gonna hit you.
You're spitting on me. You're now you're grabbing my balls now. Now you're messing with my manhood now. Like when does it come to a point that's I'm like, okay, and this, yes, while he's driving, that is so.
I agree with that. It says, lucky to be alive. That busted lip was grace.
Grace. That's what I'm saying. Like if somebody cut you off and always take your life, that right there will cause your adrenaline to pump up. And so now you got somebody in your car where it's supposed to be safe, literally kicking you, spitting on you, and grabbing your balls. What are you supposed to do?
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, even in the Hebrew, you know how we make emphasis on having babies and seeds. You're messing with my seed. Are you about to ruin my? Oh hell no.
What I want you guys to hear is what and the whole time
he's trying to de-escalate.
The whole time, who's trying to de-escalate from his side point? It sounds like he was going down, then he'll come back down, then she'll spit on him, provoke him. She's provoking him. Then you come down, then she grab his ball. Then you probably like you putting him in fight or flight. And he's trying to de-escalate, and the whole time she's just ramping up. I know you guys thinking like, oh, women wouldn't do that. No, not her. She's so cute. She just, no. I'm telling you guys, this is the type of stuff that happens. And next week, please stay tuned for next week, because I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to let this one play so you guys can see the type of stuff that a woman would take a man through. But I'm going to let Chris Brown finish the story.
And it's just like a petty, like, stupid fight, bro. And I'm just realizing it. I'm like, look, what the hell am I doing, bro? Like, what are you, like, you honestly doing this in the car right now? Like, what are we doing? So I pull over in Hancock Park, maybe less than 2-3 miles from my house, because I'm just trying to resolve the situation. I'm not trying to fight any further.
Trying to resolve. Keep playing.
Like, I love her. I don't want to hurt my girlfriend. You know, so I pull over, and I said, look, like, I'm telling you the truth. Like, I'm crying, she's crying. Like, I'm telling you the truth. I swear to God, like, I didn't do it. I didn't know she was fucking coming. I didn't know, I promise. She just didn't believe me. Like, I just know you lying to me.
And guys, and this is based off of her trying to, as if she's a man. Like, you don't own, this is a man. You don't need, he can be with whoever he wants to be with. What does that have to do with you? So she in her mind think, I own you. You belong to me. She has this masculine, aggressive spirit, but then she has the ability to put this soft, tender victim woman. I mean, they're fighting over a text message of something that happened in the past. All this happened because of another woman. Man, play it.
She takes the keys out of the car. I'm in park. She takes the keys out of the car and throws fakes like she throws them out the window. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I get out the car. When I get out the car, I'm looking for the keys in somebody's yard. And she yells out her door, help, he's trying to kill me. I said, stop, like, we gonna get in trouble. So I'm looking for the keys. She's sitting on the keys. So I'm like, you know what? I can't play this game with you. So I'm getting my bags out of the car. She takes my CDs. This is back when I would record on CDs. You couldn't put it on your phone when you leave the studio. So I had new music, and she was just scratching it up. I just seen her scratching it up with the keys. So I snatched the bag, and I was like, you know what? You got the keys. You can drive home. By this time, her lip was busted. She had a knot because I pushed her head up against the window. And you know, a lot of the times, like, I look back at that picture and I'm just like, yo, bro, like, that's not me, bro. That's not me. Like, I hate it to this day. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna haunt me forever. I hated myself, you know? So I was thinking about suicide and everything else. So it's just like, fuck. But from there, I said, you know what, I'm gonna just take everything like it's come. My consequences for my actions have to be dealt with, you know? I turned myself in the next day, pled guilty, didn't, you know, argue, didn't say, hey, now let me fight this case and take it to trial and just say, hey, she fought me back. No, I'm not, that's not where my head was at, and that's not where it is now. You know, I loved her, you know, I wanted to protect her because I did too much stuff to her. Like, I did what I did, so it was wrong.
So you can see, I mean, even to this day, this is 13 years later, you can see that he still has love for this woman. He genuinely loved her. See, a woman don't know how to love. I bet you Renee is not talking like that. He genuinely did love this woman. This man turned himself in the next day. How come Renee didn't turn herself in? Then she's talking about, oh, this became public. And I was just, who made it public? She made it public. Help, help. The guy said, go home, gave her the keys. She throws it out the window, pretends to throw it out the window, and she's hiding it. And then she calls for help and brings a scene to the whole thing just to get him in trouble. I mean, God, this is abusive. Look, he has suicidal thoughts and things of that nature. I bet you Renee didn't have no suicidal thoughts. I bet you she didn't serve time in jail for grabbing his balls. She didn't serve any time for kicking him in the car. Imagine he would have turned and caused an accident and killed some other people. I'm telling you, this is the type of wickedness that be going on. And this is the type of country that harbor this type of wickedness. America, Christianity, but this has nothing to do with Christianity. But America and the legal system, this is the type of stuff that they harbor. They harbor this type of behavior from women. This country empowers women and emboldens women to be wicked as they can be. I just went to the courthouse today and I saw my ex-wife attorney. And you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to go up there. I did say something. I said, hey, Ted. I said, hey, you look different. He says, well, I take that as a compliment. I really wanted to say, hey, if you got me, say, man, you got yourself a good. He says, whoever the guy you going to be, he's going to have his ass handed to him. You did well by hiring Ted. Ted will do whatever it takes to win. I was going to endorse him and tell him how wicked he was. So, I mean, and I'm thinking, like, I don't know how you can be a lawyer and do this for a living. Anyway, let me not digress. But hey, honey, what'd you do? Oh, yeah, I broke up another family today. Yep, I helped another woman to usurp her husband's authority. Yep, we got the children taken away from that good father. Oh, yeah. Man, I'm telling you, lawyers like that are going straight to hell. They got to. Anyway, let me hear this one. Let me hear what he said here in this interview.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, tell me. You heard it. You heard it.
I think. I mean, he pretty much.
He says everything. Okay.
Story.
Good.
I mean, now it goes into his past, like growing up.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So. And guys, feel free to go find it. Google it. You'll find it. But guys, I just wanted to show you. Look now, Deacon. When you listen to Renee, what's her name? The woman's testimony versus the Chris Brown's testimony, right?
Yep.
Which one did you feel like you had a better picture from? If you had to judge this, I mean, you're a deacon, you have to judge things. I mean, how are you seeing this?
I mean, from her side, there was not a lot of information to go off of except how she felt, and then with Chris Brown, there's a lot of details in it. You know, and he's putting himself on the sword too. So it's like, if he really wanted to hide something, he would take the same approach that she did. It's like, well, you don't understand what she was doing to me.
Yeah.
And then just left it at that for people to imagine the worst.
So one way that you can tell when somebody's lying is when they're it's all about what this person doing. Because when you read this letter, this woman does the same thing, obviously more in details, but the whole time it's all about what the man is doing, what the other woman is doing, is about what everybody's doing, but you never hear what she's doing wrong.
There's no self-ownership.
There's nothing. It's just, this guy is doing all this and people are doing all this to you. It's just a one-sided story. When you hear Chris Brown, you hear what he did, what she did. You hear the whole story. You can hear his emotion, where he's at. You can get a better story of what's really going on. And then it makes even more sense why her face looked like that at the end of the day. Now we know why she got beat up so bad. It wasn't for no reason. But when you hear her story, you just think like, wow, what kind of man would just go beat the shit out of a woman like this? This man's crazy. But then when you hear his story, it's like, oh, okay. That's why the Bible says that one person seems right until the other person comes in and cross-examine. And I'm paraphrasing. So I just want to show you guys this stuff because abuse get thrown around. Abuse is causing us men not to be the men that we can be because we're afraid that, oh, I don't want to be. Guys, bro, I'm telling you, I'm leading my house exactly the way I'm leading my house. And I don't spare any type of thing. If I do whatever I want to do, if any of my woman wants to say, hey, I'm being abused, then hey, call the elders. Let's go. Who you want to call? Who you want to call? You want to call Elder Rufus? Want to call Pastor Dow? Let's do it. Because if I'm wrong, I want to be right. And I'll be the first one to make that phone call. Say, hey, I won't even tell you the story. Say, hey, Pastor, my woman's saying that I'm abusing her. I'll let you. I'll let you hear from her, and then I'll speak afterwards. I'll let her speak because she's the one with the problem. And then let her bring it, and then I'll hear it. Pastor will hear it. The woman speaking, and then he's gonna ask me, "Is this right? Is this true?" And then I can confirm it, clean it up, whatever I need to do. Agree or disagree or whatever. But at the end of the day, I promise you, you're not gonna be able to say I'm abusing any woman. And I find this to be true for a lot of men. But does that mean men don't abuse? Nope, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that men can abuse women. That's clear. Women, and we consider those guys infidels. It happens. But you can't just all of a sudden just assume that. You got to assume that the man is right until proven he's innocent until proven guilty, to be honest with you, because he's the man in authority. He should be innocent until proven guilty. But in Christianity, the way I saw it, how the woman was innocent until, I don't even know if it was, you could ever prove the woman wrong. The man was just guilty, straight up.
I always heard, when you ask these older folks, so what's the secret to a long marriage? To say, she's always right.
You see, that's an abused man. That is an abused man. She's always right.
Compromised.
He got to the point where he's learned that no matter what, she is always right. A woman is not always right. That is a lie from the pit of hell. You see that? She's always right. And you hear that, and that's the running joke with men who are in these simp ass relationships. She's always right. She's always right. You tell me she's always right. So if a woman is always right, guess what that means? She's the head.
Exactly.
She is the head. It should be the man is always right. And most men will tell you, yeah, he's right because he sets the law, but he's not always right. But for the most part, he should be right because he's the leader. Follow the leader.
Even when he's wrong, he's right.
He's right. So, guys, I don't want to keep going this long because this is much longer than I thought, but I want you guys to see this because we need to see this. We need to talk about this stuff. And so I know this is a sensitive topic, but next week will even be more thought-provoking. I didn't want to show it today because it's just too long, and I really don't want to just brush through it because I just want you to see, because next week you're going to see the type of stuff that women can do to a man. And it's a warning to us men, and it's a warning to women. Yeah. You guys got to be very careful. So anyway, let's do reaction time.
What girls will do is they'll say, oh, I'm being abused, but they don't talk about how she hit him first. Like, I had a girl on the show say I was physically abused. And I used to just believe women. Like, I would always just be like, oh, I'm so sorry. But then you start asking questions. It baffles me how women turn the situation of them being abused when they aren't. Like this one girl, she came on my show, she said I was physically abused. I said, okay, tell me the situation. What exactly happened? She refused to leave his house. She refused. So she's trespassing on his property, saying, I'm not going to leave. And he pushes her out of the house. Is that abuse? No. Or another thing that girls do is they'll edge a guy on. Like, I saw a clip of a girl basically making fun of a guy for having a dead son. And he hit her. Who abused who? And that's the other side of this that we don't talk about is that.
So, right. I appreciate Pearly. It is Pearly. She seems like she's an advocate for men or whatever, but she's being honest. This is exactly what's happening. No one ever asked why. It seemed like it's wrong to ask, what did you do? What did you do? Well, a man just don't go around just beating you for no reason. She even talked about women edging men on, basically provoking him.
Yeah.
Trying to get him to do something so that she can play the victim. And that's why you men got to be very careful when you deal with these women, because I'm telling you, if these women get you to trigger and you snap, bro, man, it's not going to be well with you. And that's why you don't want to be around those type of women, because those type of women, they have it in for you. They're there to destroy. I'm telling you. So I appreciate her honesty. I have nothing to add to it. She just spilled the beans right there. Everything we were just talking about, she just said it. That's, man, hallelujah. That's from a woman. So you may want to disagree with me. So is Pearly? She's a woman. Is she tripping?
And she said it too. I mean, she's like, I used to just believe.
That's what I did.
The woman automatically, and then until you start asking questions. Well, what happened,
bro? I'm telling you, I used to believe women. I just initially, you just want to protect a woman, and you just think that why would she be saying this stuff? I mean, You know, I mean, I remember people even asking, like, why would a woman with 8 children leave? You must. They're asking, what did you do? Like, now, when it comes to the man, what did you do wrong? Why would she leave? Like, maybe because of money. I don't know. You know, they don't mind asking the other stuff, but when it comes to the woman, no one asks. They just take it as if it's true. So that's why, see, look, even me wanting to tell the show, I'm thinking like, I was fighting, thinking like, I don't want to say this because maybe somebody is abusing. I don't want to. You have all these hesitation, but we got to be honest, guys. If we're really being honest, if you women that are listening to this stuff, tell me if this is not true. There's more women doing this type of stuff than men doing that stuff. For a man to get to a point where he's hitting a woman, you got to be asking, what is that woman doing?
Yeah.
Men don't get a woman to destroy her. Men don't build something to destroy it. Men want to build something so it lasts. It's just that's in our nature. That's in the man's nature. All right. Is there another one?
Yep.
Out there that think you have a friend or a relative that is a victim of domestic violence, married to a jerk who thinks his wife's a punching bag. Let me tell you a real symptom. The data shows this, and we know this from 30 years of working in these situations. If the guy is 1,000% in control of the money and will not let his wife make a single decision of any kind with the money, there's a high correlation between that behavior and domestic violence.
Well, there you have it. Guys, according to Dave Ramsey, because I have 1,000% control over the money when it comes to my family. I have 1,000% control. Matter of fact, I'll make it 2,000. So Dave Ramsey is saying that I'm abusive, and 30 years of study have shown him that if the man has control over the money, that he's abusive. I'm here to tell you that 30 years data is a lie from the pit of hell. Straight up. Is that what he said?
He said that.
He said data shows that? Yeah, I've never abused any woman and I've been in control of the money. Are you kidding me?
I'm going to replay it. Yeah,
please play that again.
For those of you out there that think you have a friend or a relative that is a victim of domestic violence, married to a jerk who thinks his wife's a punching bag, let me tell you a real symptom. The data shows this, and we know this from 30 years of working in these situations. If the guy is 1,000% in control of the money and will not let his wife make a single decision of any kind with the money, there's a high correlation between that behavior and domestic violence.
Bro, I don't know what to say. Maybe I'm in control. I mean,
to that infomercial, if he's in control, he's
domestic abuse. He's a jerk. He's this. So this is the definition. Show me in the Bible where it says that if a man is in control, he's an infidel. No. If anything says the man needs to be in control.
He needs to be in
control. Yeah. So now we're starting to, when you start really looking at the truth of what the word says and what the world is saying, you're starting to see it's different. And this is a Christian. I think he is always in church. Is he? Yeah, he's Christian.
He's a Christian financial
guy or something like that. And there's a lot of Christian churches.
Like investor.
Yeah. How to budget and stuff like that.
He's known for that. He's known. Yeah. Everybody knows Dave Ramsey.
Yeah, and he's out of Tennessee actually, or at least he shows Tennessee volunteers thing. But anyway, guys, once again, I'm here showing you this is what we've been taught to believe. You're talking to a man who's in control of his money. Does that mean so? According to him, he said this is a symptom of abuse. So now I can see why people thought that, because I remember one time I made a comment in church, and I said, "Yeah, my wife." I told my wife, she asked me, so I said, well, you can take that out of your allowance. And I'm like, why is the pastor tripping? He literally like to him, red flags went off for him, like an allowance? You put your wife on an allowance? I said, yeah, I'm also on an allowance as well. I mean, what it means, allowance just means that she doesn't have to check me if she wants to buy something.
It's called budgeting.
It's part of the budget. It's like in the budget, there's an allowance for what I want to spend it on without necessarily, it has nothing to do with just Ryan. If I just want to just go buy ice cream or just do whatever I want, or if she wants to go do something, she can do. I say, you can take that out of your allowance, but I'm not going to take that out of we have things budgeted for. We have things already planned out for. But when I said allowance, when he heard me talking, because my wife said, can I get that? And I said, oh, you can get that out of your allowance. And the pastor, in his mind, he read he kind of index that in his brain or file that in his head says, wow, this guy's abusing his wife. She has her own allowance. And then I think my woman was going around at the time saying that, yeah, he only gave me $800 a month. So everybody thought $800 a month was supposed to take care of all 8 children, food, and everything. I tell you. So, guys, I'm telling you, this is why we need to talk about these things. You're hearing it from these people. They're calling. I would love to talk to Dave Ramsey and tell him I have 100% control. Tell me how I'm abusing my woman. Tell my woman that I'm abusing her. Tell him. Tell me how she being abused because I'm in control of the money. So what do? Make her in control? No one says that the woman's in control. And a lot of time in these homes, women are in control. And to be honest with you, a lot of these married men, women are in control because all they got to do is call a lawyer and take your ass to court. And we'll see who's in control of that money. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I'm done. Oh, man.
Hallelujah.
Oh, man. This was a draining one. Well,
I'll do the last announcement.
All right.
Ooh, excuse me, I'm a little rusty here.
I know. We have been off.
I know, right? Well, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Remember to visit straightway.com for any resources and newsletters. If you're interested in fellowship with Straightway, you can call the dining hall and ask for Elder Becker. The number to call is 615-688-3025. Again, if you'd like to fellowship with a nearby assembly, you can call the dining hall, ask for Elder Becker, and the number to call is 615-688-3025. You can also visit straightway.com for any contact information. Elder Kabeer, give us your closing words.
Well, here's my closing word. I just want to say there's somebody on here, his name's Stefan. Anyway, they said they call it economic abuse. Another word they call it is financial abuse.
Yeah.
So they got all terms of this abuse. And then if you look at the abuse circle, man, a lot of us Hebrew Israelites, starting with me, will be considered the most abusive man. And it's amazing. I don't even know what they call abuse. So, guys, hey, we need to be talking about these things. These are good. I hope that today's show really just got us to think and talk about the hard things, talk about the white elephant in the room. And I hope it just empowered men to just know that a lot of things that we've been taught has been lies. Be a man. Be a righteous man. Be a man of Yah. Lead your home with confidence. Are you going to make mistakes? Yeah, you're going to make mistakes. But love your woman as you love yourself. Okay? And just understand this abuse term is a term to put constraints and bind a man so that he can't truly lead and pretty much to oppress the man. So I hope to see you guys next week in the next live stream. And this time we're going to be able to see the emotions that a woman can literally get out of a man. And I just gotta say, guys, be prepared. Prepare yourself.
Trigger warning. Yeah.
Huh?
Trigger warning.
Yeah. Prepare yourself because I'm telling you, it's tough to watch. And so we will watch that next week, and then we'll close this whole abuse thing next week. So I look forward to seeing you guys next week. And remember, being faithful in the little things. Shalom, shalom.